Chapter 1856. Guan Xiaoxiang panicked. I've already bragged to Xiaolan that I'm going to make a name for myself before I graduate. Otherwise, how can she marry me? Her father is a big shot in the area. If I don't make a name for myself, how can he marry his daughter to me? She won't marry you if you don't have money? If that's what you're saying, then there's no love between the two of you. Xuemin snorted. If she's interested in your money, then you don't have to marry her. You're such a stubborn old man. This was the second time Guan Xiaoxiang had called his father a stubborn old man, and he was indeed stubborn. What era are we in now? Can you get married without money? Do you think we're still in your era? How can you marry a beauty without a house, a car, or savings? I didn't say I wouldn't let you make money. I just don't want you to use my name to cheat others. Xuemin couldn't argue, because what Guan Xiaoxiang said was the truth. Times were changing, and so were the conditions for marriage. I'm just a poor student. How can I make money without anyone to help me? Guan Xiaoxiang panicked. Are you kidding me? You're famous, and I'm your son. Can't you lend me a little? It's not like I'm doing bad things. No matter what you say. Don't force me. I've already made up my mind. There's no room for negotiation. Xuemin snorted. If you have the ability, then go find your own connections and start your own business. If you don't, then stay in school and work at the hospital. If Xiaolan breaks up with me, I'll never forgive you for the rest of my life. Guan Xiaoxiang was so angry that his face turned white. He thought that his father would agree to such a small matter. He even patted his chest and promised his classmates that there would be no problems. But now, as soon as he opened his mouth, his father rejected him. This made him very frustrated. Suit yourself. We have a guest. Go back to your room first. Guan Xuemin glared at Guan Xiaoxiang, then stood up and nodded apologetically at Yang Ming. My apologies, Mr. Yang. My son is a disappointment. If he had 1/10 of your capabilities, I wouldn't be so angry. Guan Xuemin had already found out about Yang Ming's identity from Lu Weishan. He was the behind-the-scenes boss of the Ming Yang group. It could be said that he was a character who could call the wind and summon the rain in Songjiang City. I'm just lucky. With Godfather's help, I have today's success. Yang Ming smiled. When I started the company, I also used my godfather's reputation to open a jewelry company, so Xiao Xiang's idea is not wrong, that's different. If he has a medical qualification certificate and the funds to hire a famous doctor, then not only will I not stop him from opening a hospital, I will even help him. Guan Xuemin waved his hand. But now, he's just a student who hasn't graduated yet. He's just thinking about opening a hospital with a few of his classmates. How? Using my reputation as a shell company? Haha. Yang Ming smiled, walked over and patted Guan Xiaoxiang's shoulder. You go back to your room first. When we're free later, I'll treat you to a meal. Guan Xiaoxiang was stunned. He didn't expect Yang Ming to treat him to a meal. But then, he understood something. Yang Ming wouldn't treat him to a meal for no reason, and Yang Ming was a successful person. Then, he looked for him. Guan Xiaoxiang's eyes suddenly flashed with a hint of joy. Could it be that Yang Ming wants to help me? Guan Xiaoxiang's guess was not wrong. Yang Ming did want to help him. Yang Ming knew Guan Xuemin's character. He asked him to help treat Shen Yushi, but if he gave him money, he wouldn't accept it. So, he was prepared to help Guan Xiaoxiang. Anyway, he was going to Yunnan soon, and he didn't know if he would be able to come back. Before he left, he wanted to help others as much as he could. This way, he would leave a way out for himself and his friends. If Guan Xiaoxiang could guess, Guan Xuemin could too. Although he didn't understand why Yang Ming would help Guan Xiaoxiang, he was 80% sure that it was because of him. But this time, Guan Xuemin didn't say anything. Since Yang Ming was willing to help Xiaoxiang, it was good to let Xiaoxiang learn something from him. After Guan Xiaoxiang returned to his room, Yang Ming didn't mention the matter again. Instead, he directly talked to Guan Xuemin about Shen Yushi's condition. Professor Guan, Yushi's condition, now, it's like this. There are 2 treatment plans. Guan Xuemin didn't beat around the bush. He went straight to the point with Yang Ming. I know a neurologist from Yanjing. He's coming to Donghai City to participate in a medical conference next week. I can invite him to perform surgery on Shen Yushi. However, I've sent him Shen Yushi's medical record. Based on his current judgment, the success rate of the surgery is about 50%. 50%. If the surgery fails, will there be any repercussions? Yang Ming knew that there would be more to it. If the surgery didn't have any repercussions, Guan Xuemin wouldn't have to discuss this matter with him so seriously. You should have guessed it. Of course, there will be repercussions. Guan Xuemin sighed. If the surgery succeeds, then it's fine. But if the surgery fails, Shen Yushi will probably never stand up again in this life. After Yang Ming heard Guan Xuemin's words, he suddenly frowned. If that's the case, the risk is still very high. It's 50-50, yes, if it wasn't high, I wouldn't have discussed it with you. Guan Xuemin nodded. I like Yushi very much. She's very cute and very kind. I've already acknowledged her as my goddaughter, so I have to treat her seriously. Oh. You've already acknowledged Yushi as your goddaughter? Yang Ming was slightly stunned. He didn't expect there to be such a change in the middle. I've already acknowledged her. I don't have a daughter. When I saw this child, I liked her, so I acknowledged her. Guan Xuemin smiled and said, actually, I'm different from others. Others prefer boys over girls, but I prefer girls over boys. I actually hope to have a daughter, I see. Then, I wish you a granddaughter in the future. Yang Ming said with a smile. I don't expect anything from my eldest son. It's all up to Xiaoxiang. But this kid is so annoying. According to what he said, it's hard to say if he can get a wife. Guan Xuemin shook his head. He can definitely do it. Yang Ming said, you don't have to worry about this. Since you've already acknowledged Yushi as your goddaughter, then our relationship is one step closer. I won't say anything about being an outsider. Leave Xiaoxiang to me. At least before I leave, I can nurture him. Chapter 1857. Leave? Where are you going? Guan Xuemin was slightly stunned. To Yunnan. Yang Ming smiled and said, there are some things that I don't have to hide from you. I belong to a special personnel in a certain department. I have to perform a special task, but this time, I may not be able to come back after I go, so I have to explain everything before I leave. Yang Ming didn't want to hide it from Guan Xuemin. Guan Xuemin was a famous scholar and wouldn't casually reveal his own affairs, so Yang Ming told him about his own affairs. In fact, Yang Ming would have to tell Guan Xuemin about these things sooner or later because he would be leaving soon. When that time came, Guan Xuemin would definitely not be able to contact him. So, Yang Ming was afraid that Guan Xuemin would stop the treatment of Shen Yushi. On the way here, he was prepared to have a showdown with Guan Xuemin. But he didn't expect that Guan Xuemin would accept Shen Yushi as his goddaughter. This was something that Yang Ming didn't expect. This way, even if he wasn't around, Guan Xuemin wouldn't stop the treatment of Shen Yushi. Before he left, he gave Guan Xiaoxiang a hand up to express his gratitude to Guan Xuemin. So that's your real identity. Guan Xuemin looked at Yang Ming with some shock. He was no stranger to some of the mysterious departments. Some of the aristocratic families that he had a good relationship with had people serving in special mysterious departments, but he didn't expect Yang Ming to be one of them. This time, I was prepared to have a showdown, but I didn't expect you to accept Shen Yushi as your goddaughter. It seems that I was overthinking. Yang Ming smiled. I was wondering why you wanted to help Xiaoxiang for no reason. So it was because of this. Guan Xuemin said, but don't worry, even if you don't care about Xiaoxiang, I will do my best to treat Yushi. Actually, I still have a good impression of Xiao Xiang. I feel that his nature is good, and he also has a spirit of adventure. He should be able to achieve something in the future. Besides, helping him is just a small matter. Yang Ming waved his hand dismissively. Let's not talk about this anymore. Let's continue talking about Yushi. This is the first treatment plan, but it's risky. Xuemin said, the second treatment plan is conservative treatment. I'll give her acupuncture every day, but it shouldn't have any effect. It can only prevent the muscles in her legs from shrinking, but it won't help her stand up again. Then is the second method also equivalent to not being able to stand up for the rest of your life? Yang Ming frowned. If the second method was like this, then he might as well take the risk and use the first method. Not necessarily. Maybe a miracle will happen, Guan Xuemin said. Or maybe, we'll wait for a master to appear. Master? Is there anyone better than the expert you're talking about? Yang Ming was slightly stunned and asked. Yes, of course. Xuemin said, he's a legend. His name is Lin Dongfang, and he's a miraculous doctor. I once received some pointers from him. With just a few words, I was enlightened and became a famous Chinese medicine practitioner. Think about how great he is. Yang Ming was shocked by Xuemin's words. How could there be such a great person? It's not an exaggeration to say that he can defy the heavens and change fate. He's really a miracle. Xuemin exclaimed. Then this miraculous Dr. Lin. Yang Ming hesitated for a moment and asked. Although Yang Ming guessed that this miraculous Dr. Lin might have lived in seclusion, he still didn't want to give up. Disappeared. Without any warning. Xuemin shook his head. Suddenly, he thought of something and said to Yang Ming, oh right, where did you say you were going? I'm going to Yunnan. What's wrong? Yang Ming was slightly stunned. He didn't understand why Xuemin suddenly changed the topic from miraculous Dr. Lin to him. Yunnan. Yunnan. Yes. Xuemin said, before Mr. Lin disappeared, he had been studying the voodoo of Yunnan's Miaojiang. He had a deep understanding of bacteriology. At that time, your godfather, Lu Weishan's son, Lu Tianqi, also knew Mr. Lin. The two of them often discussed bacteriology together. They studied the voodoo of Miaojiang as a kind of bacteriology. Lu Tianqi? Godfather's son? Yang Ming was stunned. He didn't expect his godfather's son, his elder brother, to know Lin Dongfang. So, what I suspect is that they went to Yunnan's Miaojiang village to study voodoo. Xuemin frowned. Apparently, he was carefully recalling the scene. At that time, I heard that someone from Miaojiang village came to invite them. I don't know if they went there and then encountered some danger. Yunnan's Miaojiang village. Lu Tianqi. Yang Ming suddenly stood up. He thought of a very important matter. Lan Ling once looked at Lu Weishan's photo at Lu Tianqi's house and said that she seemed to have seen him somewhere. Could it be that Lu Tianqi and Lin Dongfang really went to Yunnan's Miaojiang village? When Lan Ling said that, although Yang Ming was puzzled, he didn't take it to heart. He thought that she remembered wrongly. But now, with Xuemin's words, what Lan Ling said should be the truth. What's wrong? What did you think of? Xuemin was shocked by Yang Ming's action. Nothing. Yang Ming sat down with a bitter smile and shook his head. I just suddenly remembered that a friend of mine from Yunnan's Miaojiang village said that he had seen Lu Tianqi there. Are they really there? That's great. Xuemin listened to Yang Ming's words and was delighted. I asked you about going to Yunnan because I wanted you to inquire about miracle Dr. Lin Dongfang and see if he appeared there. As long as we find Lin Dongfang, there is hope for Shin Yushi's leg to be cured? Yang Ming asked with some excitement. 100%. Xuemin nodded and said with certainty, this little injury is nothing for miracle Dr. Lin Dongfang. Well, this time I have tried my best to inquire about him. Even if I can't come back, I will definitely pass the news to you. Yang Ming nodded and said solemnly. That's great. Xuemin was overjoyed. My biggest wish in this life is to see Mr. Lin in my lifetime. Even if I can't learn anything, I want to personally thank him for teaching me so many things. It's just that I can't even be considered as his registered disciple. Don't judge too early. If I see him, I will definitely ask him to accept you as his disciple. Yang Ming smiled and said, Right, where is Yushi? He's asleep in the room upstairs. I'll take you to see him. Guan Xuemin nodded, stood up, and went upstairs with Yang Ming. Chapter 1858. Shin Yushi was looking up some economic management forum information in front of the computer at the desk. However, she fell asleep as soon as she felt sleepy. She was sleeping soundly at the moment. When she heard someone knocking on the door, she thought it was Mother Lu calling her for dinner. Therefore, she sat in the wheelchair and opened the door. She did not pay much attention to her image. Yushi, Yang Ming is here, Guan Xuemin said to Shin Yushi with a smile. Ah! Shin Yushi screamed. She deliberately maintained her most beautiful side in front of Yang Ming every time. Even if her leg was broken, Shin Yushi would dress herself up beautifully. However, when she was with Guan Xuemin, Shin Yushi did not pay much attention to her image. After all, there was no one here to look at her. Shin Yushi seized all the time to study. However, she did not expect Yang Ming to suddenly come. This made Shin Yushi, who always wanted to leave a good impression on Yang Ming, feel a little embarrassed. She hurriedly closed the door and said, Wait a minute. Let me change my clothes. Shin Yushi was wearing pajamas, which were very formal. However, in order to find an excuse to close the door, Shin Yushi could only say that she wanted to change her clothes. Hee. Yang Ming smiled slightly and said, You don't have to change. Why are you so formal? I'm just going to take a look. Don't trouble yourself. If that's the case, then I'll leave first. Don't. Shin Yushi quickly opened the door of the room again. She missed Yang Ming so much during this time. She dreamed of seeing him every day. Now that Yang Ming was here, he wanted to leave. How could she let him leave just like that? Your current image is like a confused girl in a manga. It's quite cute. Yang Ming knew what Shin Yushi was thinking, so he comforted her. When Shin Yushi heard Yang Ming's words, her face turned red. She knew that Yang Ming had seen through her thoughts. She suddenly felt a little embarrassed. She also knew that it was impossible for her and Yang Ming to be together. However, she still hoped that Yang Ming would look at her a few more times. Even if he had a little favorable impression of her, Shin Yushi would be satisfied. Shin Yushi knew that her mentality was not desirable, but she still hoped that she could stand up one day and walk side by side with Yang Ming outside. Even if it was just a walk, she would be very happy. Therefore, this was the only reason why she wanted to stand up. Every day, Shin Yushi actively cooperated with Guan Xuemin because of this thought. Yushi, how do you feel? You seem to have put on some weight. Looks like you're in a good mood after acknowledging Professor Guan as your godfather. Yang Ming joked. No way. Shin Yushi was a little embarrassed. Girls always didn't like others to call them fat. I'm not that fat, hee, you look better with some weight. A while ago, you were so thin that you didn't even look like you anymore. Now, you look much prettier. Yang Ming smiled and said, I was stunned by you just now. Although Shin Yushi was very beautiful, Yang Ming would not praise her like this. Yang Ming was surrounded by beautiful women, so he had a certain immunity to beautiful women. He said this to give Shin Yushi some confidence. Yang Ming was very clear about Shin Yushi's thoughts. He didn't know how long he would be gone for when he went to Yunnan. Therefore, Yang Ming was afraid that during the time he was gone, Shin Yushi would give up on herself and lose confidence in life. If that happened, it would be difficult to deal with her condition. After all, a normal person sitting in a wheelchair for a long time would also have some bad thoughts. Now, Yang Ming hoped that Shin Yushi could maintain her confidence and hope. Maybe he could find Lin Dongfang in Yunnan. Then, he could ask him to come back and treat Shin Yushi. As long as Shin Yushi insisted on doing some leg massages and training every day to prevent the leg muscles from atrophying, it would be fine. However, this was a long-term mission. Yang Ming was afraid that Shin Yushi would not be able to persevere. Therefore, this time, Yang Ming was going all out. Anyway, his future was uncertain. Before he died, Yang Ming was very happy to be able to do something for the people around him. Professor Guan, I have something to say to Yushi alone. You see. Yang Ming turned his head and looked at Guan Shuamin. No problem. You guys talk. I'll tell Aunt Lu to prepare dinner and take a look at Xiao Xiang. Guan Shuamin said, nodded, and went downstairs. Yang Ming pushed Shin Yushi's wheelchair into the room and closed the door. Shin Yushi was a little nervous. She didn't know why Yang Ming suddenly wanted to talk to her. Was it a good thing or a bad thing? Is my condition getting worse? Will I not be able to stand up in the future? For a moment, Shin Yushi was a little worried. After all, she had always dreamed of being able to stand up one day. Shin Yushi thought, what did Yang Ming want to say to me behind Guan Shuamin's back? He deliberately asked Guan Shuamin to leave first before talking to me. Could it be that he wants to talk about me and him? Did he see through my thoughts and was preparing to reject me and not let me fantasize? When Shin Yushi thought of this, she felt weak all over. She was very nervous. She was so nervous that she couldn't speak clearly. You. Why are you looking for me? Looking at Shin Yushi's nervous expression, Yang Ming also became a little nervous. When Shin Yushi saw Yang Ming's nervous expression, she became even more nervous. Could it be that my guess was not wrong? Yushi. There is something that I have to tell you. Yang Ming's expression suddenly became serious, which made Shin Yushi's heart tremble. However, Shin Yushi adjusted her emotions and looked at Yang Ming with a forced smile. What is it? You have to be mentally prepared. Yang Ming reminded her. Shin Yushi was about to cry. The more Yang Ming said this, the more scared she was. Could it be that my guess was going to come true? Yushi, actually. I had a good impression of you not long after I saw you. Yang Ming was ready to risk it all anyway. However, he wasn't lying to Shin Yushi. Shin Yushi was very beautiful. It was impossible for him not to have any feelings for her. Huh? Shin Yushi couldn't react for a while. She only felt that there was a short circuit in her brain. She stared at Yang Ming with her eyes wide open. She was at a loss. Did I scare you? Yang Ming had prepared so much to give Shin Yushi a shock. Otherwise, if he said it directly, Shin Yushi wouldn't believe it easily. However, Yang Ming had prepared so much, so it was more believable. However, this good impression is limited to me coveting your beauty and wanting to take you for myself. In fact, I am a very overbearing man. I have always been like this. Shin Yushi had just recovered from the shock. She couldn't help but be surprised and happy. She never thought that Yang Ming would have a good impression of her and like her. However, Yang Ming suddenly confessed to her. Chapter 1859. Shin Yushi didn't know what to do. Although Yang Ming said that this favorable impression was just because he coveted her beauty, Shin Yushi was still very happy. This showed that Yang Ming at least had feelings for her. That was enough. No. Shin Yushi shook her head. Yang Ming, you said that you really had feelings for me? And, not only before. In fact, I have always had this thought for you after that. It was just that your leg was broken, so I was embarrassed to mention this matter again. Yang Ming said, in fact, when you were in the nightclub before, I was the one who spread the rumor that you were my lover. I was going to take that opportunity to make the act real, but who would have thought that there would be such an accident? Yang Ming wanted Shin Yushi to cheer up and not give up, so he couldn't care so much. He took almost all the responsibility in order to make Shin Yushi believe him. Shin Yushi was stunned. Wasn't the rumor spread because of my silence? Could it be that Yang Ming also added fuel to the fire in the middle? However, when I opened the door just now, I saw your flirtatious expression when you just woke up. I really couldn't help it and wanted to confess to you. Yushi, do you accept? Yang Ming said affectionately. I. Shin Yushi said the word I 3 times. She was so excited that she couldn't speak. Shin Yushi never thought that Yang Ming would have feelings for her. If she had known earlier, she would have been together with Yang Ming long ago. She wouldn't have to suffer so much. However, now that her leg was broken, she wasn't worthy of Yang Ming. It would be embarrassing to be his lover, so Shin Yushi was a little embarrassed for a while. Although Yang Ming's words made her feel moved, she reminded herself in her heart that now was not the same as before. Don't hold on to those unrealistic fantasies. Yushi, if you don't speak, I'll take it that you accept it. Yang Ming pretended to be happy and carried Shin Yushi up. The blanket covering Shin Yushi's legs suddenly fell to the ground. Shin Yushi only wore a pair of underwear on her lower body. Because of the problem with her legs, Guan Shuamin had to come to her regularly for acupuncture. Moreover, she also had to do massages frequently. Therefore, it was very inconvenient to wear pajamas. Therefore, Shin Yushi usually covered her legs with a blanket. Anyway, Guan Shuamin was a doctor, and she had recognized him as her godfather. Shin Yushi was still able to let go. But now that Yang Ming was carrying her, Shin Yushi was a little embarrassed. My blanket, hee, everything has been said. Yushi, what are you still embarrassed about? Yang Ming carried Shin Yushi to the bed and said with a smile. Shin Yushi was a little nervous. Is Yang Ming going to hug me now and do that? But, wasn't this too fast? Although Shin Yushi did not reject it, this was Guan Shuamin's house. Moreover, my legs are broken. I can't cooperate well with Yang Ming. Will there be a problem? Shin Yushi's thoughts were running wild. Yang Ming picked up the blanket on the ground and covered Shin Yushi's legs. Don't catch a cold. Shin Yushi's face was slightly red. She understood that she was thinking too much. Yang Ming did not mean that at the moment, so she nodded embarrassedly. Okay, I finally said the words in my heart. I can leave in peace. Yang Ming said with a sigh. Leave? Where are you going? Shin Yushi was slightly stunned. She was thinking about how to be intimate with Yang Ming in a while, but Yang Ming suddenly wanted to leave? Shin Yushi's heart tightened and asked quickly. I'm going to carry out a special mission. Yang Ming smiled. Now that you are my girlfriend, I won't hide it from you. Ah. When Shin Yushi heard Yang Ming call her his girlfriend, she was so happy that she almost screamed out loud. My dream has actually come true just like that. It can't be, right? Am I dreaming now? Yes, I must be in a daze. I was looking at the information on the computer just now. Unknowingly, I don't know anything. I must be dreaming now. Yushi, what's with your expression? Yang Ming saw Shin Yushi's expression and asked curiously. This is a dream. I'm afraid of waking up. Shin Yushi whispered. How is this a dream? Yang Ming didn't know whether to laugh or cry. How would a dreamer know that they are dreaming? Those who suspect that they are dreaming are usually awake. If you don't believe me, pinch yourself. I heard that you can't feel pain in your dreams. Oh. Shin Yushi subconsciously pinched her leg. It doesn't hurt. It's over. It must be a dream. Yang Ming was a little speechless. If you could feel something in your leg, wouldn't you be able to stand up? Ah. Yes. Shin Yushi was a little embarrassed. She was so flustered that she didn't consider that she couldn't feel anything in her leg. Now that she was reminded by Yang Ming, she quickly changed her position and pinched it. It was really painful. It wasn't a dream. How is it? Are you dreaming? Yang Ming said with a smile. N. So, you really like me? Shinyushi asked in surprise. In the past, it was just the kind of coveting when a man sees a beautiful woman. However, after this period of contact, I really like you. Yang Ming said, especially your indomitable spirit of fighting against the disease. That's what attracted me the most. Yang Ming was always looking for opportunities to hint to Shinyushi not to give up. Sure enough, Shinyushi was delighted. Really? Then I will persevere until the end. I will stand up. At that time, will you still like me? Of course. Yang Ming nodded. But, I heard from Godfather that it might take a long time. Will you be tired of it? Shinyushi asked with some concern. Previously, she was already satisfied when she imagined that Yang Ming would be good to her or accompany her often. However, now that Yang Ming had expressed his love for her, Shinyushi had more extravagant hopes. Once she got it, she didn't want to lose it again. The thing I want to tell you is also about this. Yang Ming smiled. I have to go out too. It will be a long time. Is it the special mission that you just mentioned? Shinyushi also reacted. Yang Ming just told her about the special mission. What is going on? Things are like this. In fact, my real identity belongs to a mysterious department. This department specializes in performing some dangerous and confidential missions. Yang Ming said, as for the content of the mission, I can't say it. However, this mission is very complicated. It will take a long time. It may be a few months, or it may be a few years. Chapter 1860. So long? Shinyushi listened to Yang Ming's words and looked at him with some surprise. This is considered fast. If it is slow, it doesn't necessarily take long. Yang Ming smiled bitterly. So, in order to prevent you from accepting other people's pursuit after you recover, I said it before I left. Of course, this was just an excuse for Yang Ming. Yang Ming was very clear about Shinyushi's situation. Guan Shuamin had already said that no one could make Shinyushi stand up except for Lin Dongfang. There was no miracle. Even Yang Ming himself couldn't do anything. Otherwise, Guan Shuamin wouldn't just say that he would try his best to maintain it. No. Shinyushi's face suddenly turned red. She liked Yang Ming in her heart. It was just that happiness came too quickly for her to accept. Of course, Shinyushi didn't think about whether Yang Ming's sudden confession had other factors. However, Yang Ming also explained that he had to go out to perform a mission. It would take at least a few months and at most a few years. So, it was normal for Yang Ming to suddenly confess at this time. However, Yang Ming's question was a bit redundant. Even if Yang Ming didn't confess, Shinyushi wouldn't like others. During this time, Yang Ming's shadow had been imprinted in her mind. Shinyushi couldn't forget it for the rest of her life. Especially after her leg was broken, Yang Ming was willing to go to great lengths for her. This made Shinyushi very moved. Her previous admiration for Yang Ming might be due to the impulse to be a hero saving a damsel in distress. It might also be due to the greed for Yang Ming's money. But now, she really liked Yang Ming. This was a man who could make a girl's heart move. So, Shinyushi flatly denied Yang Ming's guess. I will wait for you to come back. I am relieved when you say so. Do you want to stamp it first? Yang Ming asked with a smile. What stamp? Shinyushi was stunned. Just a kiss, Yang Ming said. No, don't. Shinyushi was a little embarrassed. Although this was what she had been looking forward to, Shinyushi was embarrassed when Yang Ming mentioned it. After all, she was a girl, and they were in someone else's house. How could she dare to let Yang Ming kiss her? Then I'll owe you first. I'll collect the interest when I come back. Yang Ming didn't really want to kiss Shinyushi. He just wanted to give her an illusion of reality so that she would believe it. Shinyushi nodded with a red face. Then, you should stay at home and recuperate. It would be best if you could stand up and welcome me when I come back. Yang Ming encouraged Shin Yushi. Yes, yes. I will definitely. Shin Yushi's heart was now full of hope. She seemed to see Yang Ming holding her hand and strolling around the neighborhood after she stood up. What a beautiful life that would be. Hee hee, I'm going to Yunnan. Do you have any gifts that you want? Asked Yang Ming. No need. I'm very happy that you came back safely. Shin Yushi naturally wouldn't ask for anything. Then, I'll see what I want, said Yang Ming. In fact, Yang Ming didn't say what he wanted to say in his heart. That was, finding Lin Dongfang was the best gift for Shin Yushi. It was just that Lin Dongfang's whereabouts were uncertain. There had been no news of him for many years. Moreover, he was going to perform a mission. Whether he had time to find Lin Dongfang was still a problem. Shin Yushi nodded. When I get there, I may have to turn off my phone. There may not be any news for a while. Don't be nervous. It's okay. Yang Ming gave Shin Yushi a heads up in advance. What if this girl couldn't find him and gave up on herself again? I know. Just focus on your work. Don't worry about me. Shin Yushi nodded and said obediently. I'm at home. If there's anything. Oh, just call Brother Bao. I'll give him a call now. Yang Ming hesitated and said. Although Guan Shuamin was also a very famous figure in Songshan City, he wasn't as good as Bao Sanli in some aspects, so Yang Ming still had to explain to Bao Sanli. It's okay. Brother Bao is very good to me. Shin Yushi was even more embarrassed. Oh, I have to let him know. Yang Ming said as he took out his phone and dialed Bao Sanli's number. Brother Yang. Bao Sanli quickly picked up the phone. Even though Yang Ming was about to leave, Bao Sanli still respected Yang Ming. This respect came from the unequal and unattainable respect. Yang Ming was a god to him, so Bao Sanli wouldn't have any thoughts of resistance in his life. He only wanted to do his best to follow Yang Ming. Baozi, what are you doing? Asked Yang Ming. I'm in the company. Brother Yang, I have something to report to you, said Bao Sanli. I was just about to call you. The matter is like this. There's a problem with the Lu family. Lu Huamei is under house arrest. They called us to ask for help to control the situation. I haven't agreed yet. I want to ask for Brother Yang's opinion. Oh. Isn't the old man Lu Jiangyan still alive? Why are the people in his family a little impatient? Yang Ming was slightly stunned. The people in the Lu family couldn't hold back when they just saw the news of Lu Jiangyan being critically ill and hospitalized on TV. He's not dead, but it's probably close. So his descendants are beginning to get restless, said Bao Sanli. Lu Huamei promised that if we help her, she will give us 20% of the shares after it's done. Oh, this kind of empty promise is nothing. Yang Ming smiled. She also said that it's only after it's done. But is it really that easy to do it? Her situation now is very unfavorable. Even if we help her, we may not be able to get her into the Jiangyan group. Once she fails, our help in the early stages will become worthless. She won't give us any reward. That's true. This is why I didn't promise her immediately. Sister-in-law Xiaolu is looking for someone to do a risk assessment to see if it's worth it, said Bao Sanli. It's fine to study it first. It's not too late to talk about it after I return to Songjiang. The later we take action, the easier it is to see the situation clearly. Yang Ming said, wait until Lu Huamei has used up all her trump cards and fought with her cousins. Then, we'll take action according to the situation. Alright, then I'll wait for you to come back, Brother Yang. It's good to wait and see about the Lu family's matter. When Lu Huamei is anxious and has no trump cards left, she can give us the biggest benefits. Bao Sanli nodded. But what if Lu Zhenan or Lu Zhiqiao find us to cooperate? Chapter 1861. Let them get lost, said Yang Ming faintly. Yang Ming naturally didn't have a good impression of Lu Jinan and Lu Zhiqiao. Lu Jinan and Lu Jifei were together, and they were scheming against Jing Xiaolu. Yang Ming naturally wouldn't let them go. As for Lu Zhiqiao, Yang Ming didn't know him at all. What cooperation? Understood, Brother Yang. Bao Sanli nodded and said, Right, Brother Yang, why are you looking for me? When I was talking about the Lu family, I almost forgot that you were the one who called me. It's like this. Aren't I going to perform a mission in a while? I'll leave Yushi's side to you, said Yang Ming. Oh. Bao Sanli was obviously stunned. Shin Yushi? I'm at her place. Yang Ming said, help me to visit her regularly and take care of her. Brother Yang, are you at Songshan? Bao Sanli naturally knew that Shin Yushi was being treated at Guan Xuemin's place, but it was strange. Why did Yang Ming suddenly go there to see Shin Yushi and talk to him in such a tone? Could it be that he and Shin Yushi, I'm at Professor Guan's house? Yang Ming said, Yushi. When you call her in the future, change the way you address her. I understand. Bao Sanli would be a fool if he still didn't understand Yang Ming's words. He quickly promised, don't worry, Brother Yang. Leave sister-in-law Yushi's matter to me. Heh. Yang Ming smiled. Bao Sanli's voice was very loud, so his words were clearly heard by Shin Yushi who was beside him. She lowered her head shyly. After the call, Yang Ming said to Shin Yushi, then I'll go first. You take care of yourself. Yes. Shin Yushi did not have the thought of giving up on herself. Previously, she also planned to work hard to treat her illness and then work in Yang Ming's company. Now, she had no intention of giving up on herself. She wanted to cherish herself and wait for Yang Ming to come back. After closing the door to Shin Yushi's room, Yang Ming sighed slightly. He had comforted Shin Yushi for the time being. It could be said that he had resolved one of his worries. Guan Xuemin was waiting near the stairs. When he saw Yang Ming come out, he nodded at him. How was it, Mr. Yang? There should be no problem. Before I come back, there won't be any thoughts of giving up. Yang Ming said with a smile. That's good. Patients are not afraid of being sick, but they are most afraid of not having confidence. Guan Xuemin nodded. There is no problem in maintaining Shin Yushi's condition, but I am afraid that she has no confidence in herself. That is the scariest thing. Yang Ming also nodded in agreement. Right, how is Xiao Xiang? I persuaded him, but he was a little upset. He said that he lost face in front of his classmates, and his girlfriend would look down on him. Guan Xuemin shook his head helplessly. This kid, I think he is still immature. Young people? There are always times when they are impulsive. Speaking of this, Yang Ming was a little fascinated. Didn't I also act impulsively? However, the impulsive times were very far away from me. Unknowingly, Yang Ming had surpassed the mental age of his peers. He felt that he had experienced a lot of vicissitudes. That's true. However, Mr. Yang can't see anything. Guan Xuemin laughed. Professor Guan, since you are Yushi's godfather, then I will call you uncle. You can also call me Yang Ming or Big Ming. Don't call me Mr. Yang. It sounds awkward, said Yang Ming. Okay, then I will call you Yang Ming. Guan Xuemin nodded. You don't look as old as Xiao Xiang. Yeah, actually I am only in my first year. Yang Ming shrugged. But I feel like I am already far away from the lives of people my age. Yeah, I think so too. Guan Xuemin laughed. Xiao Xiang is probably worried, right? He has been waiting for you in his room. Hee, I will go over now. Yang Ming nodded and went downstairs with Guan Xuemin. When they arrived at Guan Xiaoxiang's door, Yang Ming knocked. Guan Xiaoxiang quickly opened the door, but he felt that he was a little impulsive. He was afraid that Yang Ming would think that he was an unreliable person. He scratched his head awkwardly. Mr. Yang, I was a little impatient, hee, in a hurry to eat? Yang Ming teased. Ah. Yeah. Guan Xiaoxiang nodded gratefully when he saw that Yang Ming didn't see through him. Let's go then. I am hungry anyway. Yang Ming said and gave Guan Xiaomin a look. He then led Guan Xiaoxiang out the door. A 8L? Guan Xiaoxiang was stunned when he saw Yang Ming's car at the door. The last time he saw Yang Ming, he remembered that Yang Ming drove a BMW X5. Yang Ming was already this rich? Although he had guessed that Yang Ming was very rich from his father's conversation with Yang Ming, he didn't think that Yang Ming was already this rich. He could afford a good car with a small business. But if he had 2 good cars, then he wouldn't be a small business owner. At the very least, when the business reached a certain scale and had a lot of spare cash, he would buy one. Get in the car. Yang Ming said with a smile. Little Wang saw Yang Ming come out of Guan Xiaomin's house and quickly got out of the driver's seat to open the door for Yang Ming. Guan Xiaoxiang was even more shocked. Yang Ming had a chauffeur? Mr. Yang. Guan Xiaoxiang hesitated and asked, Is your business big? It's not that big. You don't have to call me Mr. Yang. Just call me Yang Ming. Yang Ming smiled. Then I'll call you Brother Yang. Guan Xiaoxiang also felt that calling Yang Ming Mr. Yang was a bit awkward. Up to you. Yang Ming said. Let's talk in the car. Okay. Guan Xiaoxiang was flattered. It was his first time sitting in such a luxurious car. Little Wang, find a restaurant. Yang Ming said to Little Wang. But then he remembered that this was Songshan, not Songjiang's territory. Little Wang wouldn't know where to find food, so he turned to Guan Xiaoxiang. Xiaoxiang, do you know where to go? Guan Xiaoxiang hesitated and said shyly, There are a lot of snacks near the school. They're all delicious and not expensive. Is there a good hotel? Yang Ming asked. Forget about those snack bars. They don't even have a private room. Let's find one that's about the same. There is a bigger hotel nearby. It was the Douglas Hotel before, but now it's called the Songjiang International Hotel. Guan Xiaoxiang didn't know that Yang Ming was from Songjiang City, and Guan Xiaomin didn't have time to tell him. When they got in the car, Guan Xiaoxiang didn't notice that Yang Ming's license plate was from Songjiang. Chapter 1862. Oh. Songjiang International Hotel? Yang Ming was slightly taken aback, then smiled. Let's go there then. It's not cheap there, and there's a minimum price for the private rooms. Guan Xiaoxiang had only heard from a rich classmate in his class that the Songjiang International Hotel was so luxurious that it was like heaven on earth. Oh, no problem. Yang Ming smiled. Do you know the address? After leaving the school, turn right and walk straight for less than a kilometer. Guan Xiaoxiang naturally knew the address. Little Wang, let's go there. Yang Ming nodded. Okay, Brother Yang. Little Wang naturally knew that the Songjiang International Hotel was a property of the Ming Yang Group. He was once the security captain of the Songjiang International Hotel. Yang Ming glanced at Guan Xiaoxiang and said, Oh right, call your girlfriend again and come out together. My girlfriend? Call her too. Guan Xiaoxiang was a bit tempted. Ever since he became friends with Xiaolan, he had never taken her to a proper hotel. It was either the school cafeteria or the snack bar in front of the school. Although Xiaolan didn't complain about it, Guan Xiaoxiang still felt uncomfortable in his heart. Looking at the rich students in his class bringing their girlfriends to luxury hotels, Guan Xiaoxiang's heart itched. But his pocket money was strictly controlled by Guan Xiaomin. He only had a few hundred yuan a month, so naturally, he didn't dare to be too extravagant. Even when he got a room with Xiaolan, he only dared to go to a budget hotel. The soundproofing was bad, and the environment was bad. But Guan Xiaoxiang had no choice, so he desperately wanted to make money. The more Xiaolan didn't say anything, the more Guan Xiaoxiang felt bad. But Yang Ming's suggestion made Guan Xiaoxiang feel a bit moved. Going to the Songjiang International Hotel was enough to show off to the other students in the class. Can I? Guan Xiaoxiang was afraid that Yang Ming was just being polite, so he carefully confirmed. Why not? You're starting a business with your girlfriend anyway. You can talk about your business plan. Yang Ming smiled. Then. I'll call her now. Guan Xiaoxiang was very happy. He knew in his heart that Yang Ming was treating him like this because of his father, Guan Xueming. However, even if Guan Xueming had helped Yang Ming treat Shen Yushi, there was no need for Yang Ming to help him like this. Besides, Guan Xiaoxiang understood Shen Yushi's condition. There was basically no hope. Why would Yang Ming help him? Guan Xiaoxiang excitedly dialed his girlfriend Xiaolan's number, but the call was hung up after 2 rings. At the same time, in a duplex bungalow in Songshan's Qianhua Shuiyan district, a girl nervously hung up the phone in her hand. Xiaolan, who's calling? A man glanced at the girl's hand and asked. No one. The girl named Xiaolan suddenly became even more nervous. Let me see the phone. The man glared at Xiaolan and snatched the phone from her hand. Dad. Xiaolan had no choice but to answer, it's Xiaoxiang. Please don't be like this, don't be like this. Don't be like what? The man snorted, why didn't you pick up the phone? What did I tell you before for nothing? Dad, Xiaoxiang is actually very good, and his family is not bad. Uncle Guan has a lot of prestige in the medical field. Xiaolan explained, it's just that Uncle Guan is an honest person, so his family is not rich. Honest my ass. Why do you have so many reasons for not being able to earn money? Zhang Hualan's father, Zhang Dinhai snorted disdainfully, didn't I tell you? I've been promoted. In Songshan, I'm considered a celebrity in society. I know some high-ranking officials and dignitaries. Just based on your looks, I'll introduce you to a young talent who is 100 times better than that bullshit Xiaoxiang. What young talent? Isn't he just a bunch of playboys? Zhang Hualan frowned, Dad, you don't understand Xiaoxiang. Xiaoxiang will definitely be successful in the future. He has the confidence to make his own career. Confidence my ass. What's the use of having confidence without strength? Zhang Dinhai snorted, you don't understand logic. Wait until you get married, you'll understand. Without money, everything is useless. Even though I can earn some money, but at the end of the day, I'm still working for others. The money I earn now is not even enough for me to enjoy my retirement. I'm still hoping that you can find a rich husband in the future to help me out. If you don't find a rich husband, what am I going to do? Xiaoxiang will definitely be rich in the future. Zhang Hualan argued. Alright, let's not talk about those useless things. I don't care about the future. I only care about the present. Zhang Dinhai waved his hand, call him back now and ask him to come out. I want to talk to him. You. What do you want to talk about? Zhang Hualan was shocked and asked. Of course it's about you too. Give me 5 million as a betrothal gift, and I'll agree to you two dating. Otherwise, don't look for you anymore. Zhang Dinhai said. 5 million? Zhang Hualan was shocked. She knew about Guan Xiaoxiang's family situation. How could they have 5 million? Even though they lived in a villa, it was provided by the school. They didn't buy it. What, you think it's too much? It's not much. 5 million is just to prove his ability. If he can't even get 5 million now, then how can he guarantee your happiness in the future? He even said that he'll make a career out of it. Nonsense. Zhang Dinhai said. If he can get 5 million, then I'll believe in his ability. This. Dad, give him some time. He'll definitely find a way. Zhang Hualan could only try to stall for time and take one step at a time. There's no time. Tomorrow is the deadline. If you can't get it, then get out. Zhang Dianhai said. The boss of the hotel is going to introduce a girlfriend to one of his nephews today. With your qualifications, it won't be a problem. If Guan Xiaoxiang can't get the money, then I'll introduce him to you. Dad, can't you be more reasonable? Zhang Hualan was about to cry. What I say is reasonable. Zhang Dianhai snorted. Call him later and ask him to come to my hotel. Let him see what the life of the rich is like. Zhang Dianhai guessed that Guan Xiaoxiang had never been to such a high-end hotel. After he came, he would feel ashamed and then take the initiative to break up with his daughter. When Zhang Dianhai wasn't doing very well, he didn't want to break up Zhang Hualan and Guan Xiaoxiang so fiercely. However, he just started working at the Songjiang International Hotel a few days ago and was appointed as the executive vice president. Suddenly, he became awesome. One must know that the Songjiang International Hotel was one of the best 5-star hotels in Songshan City. The standard of the people he usually interacted with was suddenly higher, so Zhang Dianhai's vision suddenly became higher. Chapter 1863. Just as Zhang Hualan was about to refuse, the phone in her hand rang again. Don't hang up. Give me the phone. I'll talk to him. Zhang Dianhai said as he reached for the phone in his daughter's hand. Guan Xiaoxiang called once, but Zhang Hualan didn't pick up. He was a bit confused, so he waited for a while before calling again. This time, it was a male voice that answered. Guan Xiaoxiang, right? Yes. Are you Uncle Zhang? Guan Xiaoxiang was shocked to hear the man's voice and quickly asked carefully. Yes, it's me. Are you looking for Xiaolan? Zhang Dianhai asked. Yes. Yes. Is Xiaolan there? Guan Xiaoxiang asked. Good, I need to talk to you about something. Where are you now? Zhang Dianhai asked. Talk to me? Talk to me? Guan Xiaoxiang paused. Uncle Zhang, what do you want to talk to me about? What's there to talk about? You'll know when we meet. Zhang Dianhai said. It's about you and Xiaolan. Where are you? I just came out of the house. Guan Xiaoxiang said carefully. Wait for me in the lobby of the Songjiang International Hotel in half an hour. We'll talk when we meet. Zhang Dianhai didn't wait for Guan Xiaoxiang to reply and hung up. Hello? Uncle Zhang? Guan Xiaoxiang looked at his phone helplessly. It showed that the call was over. What's wrong? Yang Ming looked at Guan Xiaoxiang's troubled expression and asked with a smile. Xiaolan. My girlfriend's father is looking for me. He wants to talk to me about something. Guan Xiaoxiang said carefully. Oh. Looks like it's not the right time for me to treat you to a meal. Why don't you meet your future father-in-law first? Yang Ming asked with a smile. Brother Yang. Can you come with me? Give me some courage. I'm a bit scared. Guan Xiaoxiang hesitated. I heard from Uncle Zhang, Xiaolan's father, that there's something wrong with his tone. It seems like he doesn't approve of me and Xiaolan. Let's go then. Where is it? Yang Ming didn't mind going with Guan Xiaoxiang. He was secretly laughing at Guan Xiaoxiang's little trick. Of course, Yang Ming knew what Guan Xiaoxiang was thinking. He wanted Yang Ming to back him up at a critical moment, but he didn't want to say it out loud, so he said that he wanted Yang Ming to back him up. However, Yang Ming already had the intention of helping Guan Xiaoxiang, so he didn't care about these things. It's at the Songjiang International Hotel, the place we're going to. Guan Xiaoxiang said. That's good. We don't have to change directions. Yang Ming nodded. Little Wang parked the car in the parking lot of the Songjiang International Hotel. Originally, Yang Ming was going to let Little Wang book a private room, but because Zhang Dianhai was treating, Yang Ming was not in a hurry to book a private room. He waited in the hotel lobby with Guan Xiaoxiang. Qianhua Shui and district was one of the most luxurious districts in Songshan City. This place was known as the symbol of Songshan's power. Every house here was a duplex, and there were even independent villas. Every house started at 10 million, and villas could be sold for more than 30 million. People who could live here were either rich or noble. And this Qianhua Shui and district was known as the rich district of Songshan City. Although not all rich people lived here, those who lived here were definitely rich people. The house Zhang Dianhai lived in now was a duplex villa, so the 5 million he asked Guan Xiaoxiang to take out wasn't a lot. As the senior management of the hotel, he had an annual salary of more than 1 million. Especially now that he was the vice president of the 5-star Songjiang International Hotel, his annual salary had increased to nearly 2 million, so Zhang Dianhai had become very powerful these few days. Driving his Mercedes-Benz R300, Zhang Dianhai drove his daughter, Zhang Hualan, to the Songjiang International Hotel. President Zhang. The security guard at the entrance saw Zhang Dianhai's car and immediately saluted him. Zhang Dianhai enjoyed this feeling and nodded to the security guard. He drove the car into the parking lot and found an empty spot to park. Then he said to Zhang Hualan, "See? This is the difference between status and identity. If I wasn't the vice president here, would the security guard greet me? If you and Guan Xiaoxiang came here, the security guard probably wouldn't let you in, right? Which one of those who come here don't drive? Even those who take taxis are a minority." Zhang Hualan frowned. "I don't know, but I do know that Xiaoxiang will definitely reach higher heights in the future." If he can be like me, it's already not bad. Even higher." Zhang Dianhai laughed coldly. "I don't know if he came or not, but he was probably stopped by the security guard at the entrance." "How is that possible? Xiaoxiang is also a talent, and the security guard here wouldn't look down on people." Zhang Hualan pointed at the entrance. "Dad, look, aren't there people walking here?" Zhang Dianhai snorted and led Zhang Hualan into the hotel. When they entered the hotel lobby, the receptionist at the entrance and the lobby manager ran over to greet him warmly. "Hello, Mr. Zhang." Zhang Dianhai waved his hand and looked around the lobby. He saw Guan Xiaoxiang running towards him. Zhang Dianhai naturally knew Guan Xiaoxiang. He had seen a picture of him and his daughter. "Hello, Uncle Zhang." Guan Xiaoxiang quickly greeted him. "Guan Xiaoxiang, right?" Zhang Dianhai looked at Guan Xiaoxiang and saw Yang Ming and little Wang behind him. He frowned. "These two are?" "They're my friends, they came with me." Guan Xiaoxiang said, "And this is?" "All right, no need for introductions." Zhang Dianhai didn't want to hear the names of Guan Xiaoxiang's friends. In his opinion, Guan Xiaoxiang brought them here to freeload. After all, such a luxurious hotel wasn't for poor students like them. The other reason was probably to give him courage. But no matter what the reason was, Zhang Dianhai didn't care and didn't want to know. Guan Xiaoxiang was a little embarrassed, afraid that Yang Ming would be angry. He wanted to turn around and explain, but he saw Yang Ming shake his head at him. Only then did Guan Xiaoxiang let out a sigh of relief. "Foreman Wu, give me a VIP room." Zhang Dianhai ordered the lobby manager. The lobby manager wanted to remind Zhang Dianhai that Guan Xiaoxiang's two friends weren't ordinary people. They drove an Audi A8L, but he didn't have the chance. He couldn't say that in front of them, could he? Now that Zhang Dianhai had ordered him to find a room, Foreman Wu didn't have the chance to tell Zhang Dianhai. He could only go find a room first. Foreman Wu had a record of every guest's car. As soon as the car stopped and the guest alighted, a security guard would inform him. This way, Foreman Wu could better understand the level of the guest and provide more accurate service. Chapter 1864. After getting the room, Zhang Dianhai didn't say much to Foreman Wu. He led Zhang Hualan, Guan Xiaoxiang, Yang Ming, and little Wang into the elevator. Zhang Hualan looked at Guan Xiaoxiang apologetically, but Guan Xiaoxiang gave her a reassuring smile. "Trust me, it'll be fine." "Okay." Zhang Hualan nodded. "What are you guys mumbling about?" Zhang Dianhai frowned. Don't talk so much in the elevator. It's rude to let others see. Zhang Hualan stuck her tongue out. Guan Xiaoxiang was a little annoyed. How was talking in the elevator rude? But he was Zhang Hualan's father, so Guan Xiaoxiang couldn't say anything. The elevator stopped at the VIP floor on the top floor. Zhang Dianhai arrogantly led everyone to a large private room, pushed open the door, and took the lead to walk in. Guan Xiaoxiang looked at everything in front of him. It was just as his classmate had said. The level of luxury here was beyond his imagination. This was a place for the rich. And Zhang Hualan's father, Zhang Dianhai, was called Mr. Zhang by the people here. Could this hotel be his? Thinking of this, Guan Xiaoxiang was shocked. Zhang Hualan's family background was so powerful. Although he knew that Zhang Hualan's father was famous, he didn't know that he had such achievements. When Zhang Hualan mentioned her father, she only said a few vague words. Now, Guan Xiaoxiang felt more and more threatened. He felt that Zhang Dianhai was not here with good intentions. Little Guan, you've never been to such a high-end hotel, right? Take your friends around and take pictures. Zhang Dianhai waved his hand and said casually. Zhang Dianhai was obviously looking down on Guan Xiaoxiang. His words were sharp and full of sarcasm, but Guan Xiaoxiang had never been to such a high-end place, so he couldn't refute it. Instead, he dragged Yang Ming into this. He smiled apologetically at Yang Ming. Brother Yang, hee, it's nothing. This is also my first time coming to Songshan's Songjiang International Hotel. Yang Ming smiled faintly. Yang Ming wasn't lying. It was indeed his first time coming to Songshan City's Songjiang International Hotel, but it didn't mean that he hadn't been to other Songjiang International hotels before. However, Zhang Dianhai misunderstood Yang Ming's meaning. You've borrowed little Guan's glory. You should take a look this time. I'm afraid you won't have another chance in the future. Oh, that's true. Maybe I won't come here for a few years, Yang Ming said lightly. Guan Xiaoxiang, of course, understood what Yang Ming was implying. He wanted to laugh, but he couldn't. He pursed his lips and looked at Zhang Hualan. Zhang Hualan, on the other hand, didn't know what to say, but she was curious about the friend Guan Xiaoxiang had brought. Why didn't he feel like he was being looked down upon? Couldn't he tell that his father was mocking him? What are you eating? Order whatever you want. This restaurant has everything. Zhang Dianhai waved his hand and said. Oh, then let's order a few more dishes, Yang Ming said faintly and picked up the menu. Zhang Dianhai looked at Yang Ming's casual behavior and frowned slightly. He thought to himself, you're just a friend brought by Guan Xiaoxiang. Why are you pretending to be a host? However, he didn't say anything. He was just trying to act cool. The more Yang Ming acted like he hadn't seen the world and liked to take advantage of the small things, the happier Zhang Dianhai was. Order whatever you want. Zhang Dianhai said. But if you miss this opportunity, you won't find another restaurant like this again. Xiaoxiang, since Uncle Zhang is so hospitable, let's order something expensive. Yang Ming said. That. Okay. Guan Xiaoxiang asked Yang Ming to come here to help him, so he was curious about Yang Ming's inexperience. However, he also knew that Yang Ming wouldn't hurt him. He was definitely helping him, so he didn't say anything and waited for Yang Ming's next move. Yang Ming opened the menu and specifically ordered the expensive dishes. He ordered more than 10 dishes, all of which were extremely expensive. The total cost was in the tens of thousands. This made Zhang Dianhai's face darken. Although he was the vice president of this restaurant, his annual salary was only a little over $1 million. On average, it was only $100,000 a month. After deducting his personal income tax, there was only about $80,000 left. Yang Ming ordered 40 to 50,000 yuan worth of food. It was more than half of his monthly salary. How could he not feel bad? Even if he was the vice president of this restaurant, he still had to spend money to eat. At most, he could enjoy the VIP discount of 20%. That would still cost 30 to 40,000. Zhang Dianhai's face darkened as he glared at Yang Ming. Humph, you country bumpkin who hasn't seen the world. Aren't you afraid of dying from eating? Although he complained, he couldn't stop Yang Ming from ordering. If he didn't let Yang Ming order, wouldn't it mean that he didn't want to spend money? Then he wouldn't be able to achieve his goal. The main reason he asked Guan Xiaoxiang to come today was to let him experience the life of the upper class and show him how the rich enjoyed life. He didn't have money, so he couldn't give Zhang Hualan such a life in the future. Therefore, even if Zhang Dianhai's heart was bleeding, he could only pretend to be rich. He wouldn't stop Yang Ming from ordering. At most, he would complain a little. That's all. We can't finish any more than that. Xiaoxiang, see if there's anything else you want to add, Yang Ming said casually as he passed the menu to Guan Xiaoxiang. No need, that's all. Guan Xiaoxiang naturally wouldn't be as careless as Yang Ming. He waved his hand a little embarrassedly. Okay, that's all then, Yang Ming said to the waiter. The waiter looked at Zhang Dianhai. After all, Yang Ming had ordered expensive dishes that cost tens of thousands, so he had to ask for Zhang Dianhai's opinion. Although Zhang Dianhai felt bad, he couldn't do anything about it. He had already said what he wanted. He could only wave his hand and say, that's all for now. Tell the kitchen to get it done as soon as possible. Tell them that they are my guests. Zhang Dianhai was constantly trying to show that he was in the privileged class and could be served first. Yes, Mr. Zhang. The waiter got an affirmative answer and left with the order. Zhang Dianhai, on the other hand, cleared his throat and said to Guan Xiaoxiang, Little Guan, do you know what I do? You're the general manager here? Guan Xiaoxiang could roughly guess, but he was a little confused as to why Zhang Dianhai would suddenly ask him. That's right. I'm the vice president here. Zhang Dianhai said proudly. Now you know what Xiaolan's family does. You know the difference between you and Xiaolan, right? Chapter 1865. Guan Xiaoxiang didn't expect Zhang Dianhai to be so direct and didn't know what to do. His face turned red and he couldn't say anything. Uncle Zhang, I know your family is very powerful now, but I'm also working hard. I'm still a student, but I believe I can achieve great results in the future and give Xiaolan a good life. Future? Everyone knows how to say empty words. My old friends all said the same thing, but which one of them succeeded? Wasn't it just me? Zhang Dianhai snorted and said with some disdain, so what you're saying is all empty words. Then how can I prove it? Guan Xiaoxiang was still young and impulsive without Zhang Dianhai's provocation. How? That's up to you. Why are you asking me? Zhang Dianhai looked at Guan Xiaoxiang with a smile. If it was up to me, then show me how you can earn 5 million in the next 2 days. If you can, then prove that you have the ability. If you can't, then I'm sorry, but I can't believe you. 5 million? Guan Xiaoxiang was stunned. How is that possible? I don't have a single cent of capital right now, how can I earn 5 million? Whether it's possible or not isn't something for me to worry about. That's something for you to worry about. Zhang Dianhai smiled and said condescendingly, if you need someone to teach you everything, then Xiaolan can't expect anything from you. Look at you, you don't even know how to earn 5 million, let alone a bigger business. But, the first pot of gold is the hardest to earn. Guan Xiaoxiang retorted. And to earn 5 million in one go is like a fool's dream. How many people can earn 5 million in one go? If there are more people, what can you show off? Zhang Dianhai snorted. It's not easy to prove your ability. Is 5 million a lot? I don't care if you're scamming people or finding people to invest, but I want to see 5 million in assets within 3 days, or don't come looking for Xiaolan in the future. It's hard for me to see your sincerity. Dad, aren't you making things difficult for Xiaoxiang? Zhang Hualan couldn't stand it anymore and said. What do you know? Zhang Dianhai interrupted his daughter. How is this making things difficult? If I don't ask him to be strict, can he become something? You can only grow in adversity. I thought Uncle Zhang's requirements were high. It turns out that it's only 5 million. Yang Ming suddenly said, this requirement is too low. It's not considered strict. Zhang Dianhai looked at Yang Ming in bewilderment. He didn't know which side Yang Ming was speaking for. Isn't he Guan Xiaoxiang's friend? What did he mean by that? Was 5 million too little? Was it not enough to show off Guan Xiaoxiang's ability? However, since a fool had spoken, it was exactly what Zhang Dianhai wanted. It seems that I have underestimated Xiao Guan's strength. 5 million is indeed too little. 8 million then. Hearing Yang Ming speak, Guan Xiaoxiang's heart relaxed. He had been afraid that Yang Ming wouldn't care about him because Yang Ming hadn't said anything, so Guan Xiaoxiang had to fight on his own. Now that Yang Ming had said something, it meant that Yang Ming was going to intervene. Zhang Hualan didn't know who Yang Ming was, though. She thought he was a random friend that Guan Xiaoxiang had found. When she heard Yang Ming say something like that, she glared at Yang Ming angrily. Guan Xiaoxiang really didn't make a good friend. Why did he bring someone like that? He might as well not have brought someone like that. He's just a hindrance. Yang Ming pretended not to see Zhang Hualan's glare. He continued to look at Zhang Dianhai with a neutral expression. Oh, 8 million? That's too little. You're really looking down on Xiaoxiang. Zhang Dianhai was speechless. If it weren't for the fact that Yang Ming had ordered so many expensive dishes to scam him, he would have thought that Yang Ming was here to help him get rid of Guan Xiaoxiang. Xiao Guan, looks like your friend isn't that simple. He has a lot of confidence in you. Zhang Dianhai laughed. Since your friend thinks so highly of you, how about we set it at 10 million? 3 days. Let's not make it 3 days. Let's make it a week. If you can raise 10 million in a week, I'll betroth Xiaolan to you in front of everyone. How about that? 10 million? That's too little. At this moment, Yang Ming shook his head again and said disapprovingly, and, a week? That's a long time. Isn't that a bit too long? Zhang Dianhai's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. He could accept that Yang Ming had helped him squeeze Guan Xiaoxiang in, but now he was being unreasonable. 10 million is too little. Then tell me, how much money can Xiaoxiang get? Oh, I was saying, at least 100 million? Plus, a week is too long. How about a day? 100 million a day, Yang Ming said, let Xiaoxiang raise 100 million in a day. That's what I call awesome. Ha 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 ha. Zhang Dianhai burst out laughing after hearing Yang Ming's words. He really didn't care about the pain in his back. 100 million? How many people had 100 million? A company with 100 million in assets was rare in Songshan, let alone someone who could invest 100 million in someone else. Plus, he was investing in a nobody. This was a high-risk, low-return business. Who would do that? Yang Ming's words were like digging a grave for Guan Xiaoxiang to die. Uncle Zhang, what are you laughing at? You think 100 million is too little? Yang Ming asked. Zhang Dianhai really thought that there was something wrong with Yang Ming's head. Why couldn't he tell that he was laughing? This was mockery, naked mockery. How could Yang Ming not understand? Zhang Dianhai said proudly, if he can get 100 million in a day, not only will I let Xiaolan marry him, I'll listen to him at home. He'll be the head of our family. Oh, so it's like that. Then I'll let Xiaoxiang get 100 million for you to see, Yang Ming said calmly. But how do you prove that he got 100 million? Isn't that simple? Go to the bank and open an account in his name, then deposit 100 million for me to see. Zhang Dianhai looked at Yang Ming mockingly. Okay, that's fair. Then let's eat first. Yang Ming nodded. Zhang Dianhai was very happy. He felt that treating Yang Ming to a meal that cost tens of thousands was worth it. This person was simply his lucky star. Previously, he had posed the problem of 5 million. Although it was a little difficult, Zhang Dianhai was afraid that Guan Xiaoxiang would use his father's name to borrow 5 million to make up the numbers. If that happened, it would be difficult to handle. Chapter 1866. But Zhang Dianhai couldn't ask for too much. 5 million was already a lot. If he had asked for 8 or 10 million, it would have been too much. Just as Zhang Dianhai was worrying about how he could increase Guan Xiaoxiang's offer, Yang Ming came knocking on his door. It was rare to see such a good deal. And so, Zhang Dianhai went with the flow and came up with the impossible mission of 100 million a day. Only then would he dare to say that he would listen to Guan Xiaoxiang from now on. Zhang Dianhai didn't believe that Guan Xiaoxiang could get 100 million in a day. That was an international joke. He didn't believe that there was such a thing. Xiaoxiang, what kind of person did you find? Zhang Hualan whispered to Guan Xiaoxiang. He's not helping you, he's hurting you. It shouldn't be. If Brother Yang said so, then there should be a way. Guan Xiaoxiang believed in Yang Ming. Someone that even his father looked up to shouldn't be an unreliable person who only knew how to boast. Plus, Yang Ming's 2 cars were pretty good. He should be a big boss. But what made Guan Xiaoxiang nervous was that Yang Ming had asked for 100 million a day. This was beyond Guan Xiaoxiang's imagination. But on the other hand, Guan Xiaoxiang was also very excited. Because Yang Ming said that, it meant that he was going to invest 100 million in him. Because the money he said would not be taken back, but would be used for his own investment. With 100 million, his business would be built up quickly, and he would be able to climb to the top in the future. How could Guan Xiaoxiang not be excited? What can we do? It's 100 million. Even my family doesn't have that much money. Zhang Hualan looked at Yang Ming, annoyed. This guy is obviously here to mess things up, but Xiaoxiang is still on his side. And one day? Isn't that a joke? I don't know about that, but I don't think Brother Yang would lie to me. Guan Xiaoxiang clenched his fist. Don't worry, Xiaolan. I won't lose you. Sigh, I can only take one step at a time. Zhang Hualan lowered her voice. If there's no other way, I'll run away from home. When the time comes, we'll elope. No, I won't let you live this kind of homeless life. Guan Xiaoxiang said firmly. Trust me, trust Brother Yang, we will be happy. Definitely. Zhang Hualan saw that Guan Xiaoxiang trusted Yang Ming so much and didn't say anything else, but she didn't think much of it. No matter how she looked at it, this Yang Ming seemed like a shameless person who was deliberately trying to curry favor with her father in order to get food and drinks. Zhang Dianhai couldn't care less about what his daughter was saying to Guan Xiaoxiang. He could say whatever he wanted. After 24 hours, if Guan Xiaoxiang couldn't come up with the 100 million, then he would have to get the hell out of here. Little Guan, I think you'd better not waste your time here. Think of a way to get 100 million first. Zhang Dianhai said indifferently. You still need to eat, don't you? Otherwise, wouldn't it be a waste to order so many good dishes? I haven't eaten the dishes of the Songjiang International Hotel's chef in Songshan City yet. Yang Ming said with a smile. The reason why he ordered some of the signature dishes was to see the chef's skills. He didn't expect Jing Xiaolu and Guo Jianchao to be so successful in the hotel industry. They managed all the branches so neatly in such a short time. In fact, what Yang Ming didn't know was that the Douglas Vast Hotel itself had a perfect management system. Jing Xiaolu only needed to make some slight changes, and she could use it directly. That was why she could manage so many hotel branches so easily. One after another, all kinds of dishes were placed on the table. Yang Ming didn't hold back. He picked up his chopsticks and started eating. The taste is really good. Everyone, try it. It's delicious. Pfft. Zhang Dianhai looked at Yang Ming mockingly. Did he think that he was the host? Let everyone try it? He couldn't tell who was treating, right? However, Zhang Dianhai didn't say much because it didn't matter what Yang Ming did. His goal had been achieved. Yang Ming could do whatever he wanted. Especially when Yang Ming spoke up for him, he didn't care even more. Little Guan, you try it too. The next time you eat here will be after you get 100 million. Zhang Dianhai was clearly mocking Guan Xiaoxiang for never coming back here again. He didn't believe that Guan Xiaoxiang would be able to get 100 million. Xiaolan, you eat some too? Guan Xiaoxiang heard Yang Ming say so he picked up his chopsticks. However, he saw that Zhang Hualan hadn't eaten yet, so he said, How can I be so generous? Can I eat? Zhang Hualan was about to cry. Why is this Guan Xiaoxiang still acting like nothing happened? Can't he stand up and say something? Those words just now were said by Yang Ming, not Guan Xiaoxiang. It didn't represent Guan Xiaoxiang. As long as he stood up and denied it, Zhang Hualan believed that no matter how shameless her father was, he wouldn't be able to force Yang Ming's promise on Guan Xiaoxiang. Hurry up and talk to my dad. That wasn't your idea. You know that 5 million is enough. With Uncle Guan's ability, 5 million shouldn't be a problem, right? 100 million it is. I believe in Yang Ji. Guan Xiaoxiang shook his head. Why do you trust him so much? Zhang Hualan was anxious. I think he's clearly trying to harm you. He's not doing this for your own good. I can only believe in him. Because before I came here, I had an argument with my dad. My dad wouldn't give me any money, and he wouldn't let me use his name to start a company. I had a falling out with him. Guan Xiaoxiang said helplessly. But luckily I met Yang Ji, and he was willing to help me. Him? How can he help you? Can he help you get 100 million? Zhang Hualan clearly didn't believe that Yang Ming could help Guan Xiaoxiang. He can. He should be able to. Guan Xiaoxiang nodded. Sigh. I don't know what to say to you. Just trust him. When the time comes, my dad will ask you to break up with me. Don't regret it. Zhang Hualan was furious. Why is this Guan Xiaoxiang so rigid? What's wrong with eloping? Why does he have to insist on such a principle? Zhang Dianhai watched proudly as Yang Ming wolfed down the food on the table. He was even more certain that Yang Ming was here to scam him for food and drink. What he said before was just to get on his good side so that he could eat more smoothly. Thinking of this, Zhang Dianhai was even more relieved. Little Guan, you guys stop talking. Hurry up and eat. This is tens of thousands. Don't waste it. Chapter 1867. The parking lot security guard of Songshan City's Songjiang International Hotel suddenly stopped on the windshield of an Audi A8L during his routine patrol. In the windshield of the car, several passes were placed. There were Mingyang Entertainment Company Headquarters Access Pass, Mingyang Security Company Pass, Songjiang International Hotel Internal Parking Pass, Mingyang Escort Company Pass, and some special passes issued by some special departments. This made the parking lot security guard widen his eyes. He looked at the license plate number of the car, Song BK 9999. Isn't this the license plate number of Songjiang? This car has so many passes of various companies under the Mingyang Group, then the identity of the owner of this car. The security guard was shocked. Songshan City's Songjiang International Hotel belonged to the Songjiang International Hotel Group. The parent company was Mingyang Entertainment Company, Limited. The director of the car actually had the access pass of the Mingyang Entertainment Company's headquarters and the passes of various industries under the Mingyang Group. Could it be that the senior management of the group's headquarters is visiting incognito? Thinking of this possibility, the security guard was shocked. He quickly took the walkie-talkie and called the security captain. Boss, something big happened. Come to the parking lot in front of the door, third row left. I'm 012. I'm waiting here. Security 012 shouted. What's wrong? What happened? I'm going now. The security captain was shocked when he heard the tone of Security 012. What happened? The security captain quickly put down the work in his hand and rushed to the parking lot. He saw Security 012. What happened? What happened? The security captain looked all the way and didn't find anything big. Everything was fine. Only Security 012 was standing here. It didn't look like something big happened at all. Captain, look at this car. Security 012 pointed at the Audi A8L in the parking lot and said carefully. What's wrong with this car? Isn't it just an Audi A8L? What's so strange about it? The security captain frowned and thought to himself, you called me here in such a hurry just to show me this Audi A8L? Are you kidding me? Although this car is relatively rare, it's not that it doesn't exist. There are many of them in the city, and they often enter and leave the hotel. No, look at the license plate of his car. Security 012 stuttered. However, before Security 012 finished speaking, he was interrupted by the security captain with a wave of his hand. Do you have nothing to do? You called me here just to see the license plate of this car? 9,999? What does it have? I've seen 8,888 before. What's so strange about that? Are you new here? Haven't seen the world? No. Boss. Security guard 012 said, feeling wronged. What do you mean? If you continue to dawdle, I'll deduct 100 yuan from you. He was really looking for trouble. Just keep an eye on the car. Which of the people who came here to eat wasn't rich? What's so strange about an Audi A8L with 49 license plates? The security captain waved his hand impatiently and turned to leave. Boss, take a closer look. The license plate of this car is from Songjiang, and inside the car. However, this time, Security 012 didn't finish and was interrupted by the security captain. You can see the flowers if you look closely. Wasn't it normal for rich people from other places to eat here? What's so strange about it? That's ridiculous. The security captain said. Boss, let me finish. Security 012 was anxious. Okay, then tell me. I'll see what you have to say. If it's useless, then don't blame me for deducting your salary. The security captain held back his anger and said. Okay. Security 012 nodded and said in one breath, Boss, look inside the windshield of this car. There are so many passes. Look at the issuing organization on the pass. Oh? The security captain looked at the pass in the car. At first glance, he was shocked. He wasn't stupid. He immediately thought of the possibility. You mean, someone from the headquarters came? Is there any other possibility? Security 012 was a little proud. He thought, didn't you say that what I said was useless? Now you're scared too, right? The owner of this car is definitely not simple, but I haven't heard of a leader from the headquarters coming down to check. The security captain looked at the car in confusion. He wanted to see some clues, but he couldn't see anything. No, I have to call President Liu immediately. President Liu was Liu Dian, the general manager of the Songjiang International Hotel in Songshan City. I just saw President Zhang's car coming. Should we inform President Zhang? Security 012 said. President Zhang came with his family. It's not good for us to disturb, right? The security captain hesitated and said, let's inform President Liu first. Let's see what President Liu says. Okay, then let's find President Liu first. Security 012 nodded. Liu Dian was sleeping in his mistress's villa when an ear-piercing phone call rang, giving him a big fright. He glanced at it. It was the security captain. If it were someone else, he would have hung up directly. Hello? Zhao. What's the matter? I'm on vacation today. Why are you calling? Although Lu Dian picked up the phone, his tone was still a little unhappy. President Lu, I have a big matter to report to you, said the security captain, Zhao. What's the big matter? Lu Dian frowned and asked. In the hotel parking lot, a car came. The owner seems to have a lot of status. President Lu, do you want to come over? The security captain said carefully. Who doesn't have status when they come to our hotel to eat? You want me to go over just for a car? Isn't this tormenting people? Just pretend I didn't see it. When Lu Dian heard this, he was a little unhappy. They didn't say anything before they came. Naturally, they didn't want me to come out. If they needed me, they would have called long ago. Who doesn't have my phone number in Songshan City? President Lu, it's not someone from Songshan City. The security captain quickly explained, this is a car from Songshan City. The license plate number is Songshan BK 9999. The security captain said. I don't care where his car is. What's wrong with a car from Songshan City? Lu Dian was a little impatient because he heard the mistress calling him over after she finished heating the bath water. Okay, that's it. I won't say any more. Wait, President Lu, listen to me. The security captain was a little anxious. He thought, why is President Lu so anxious? Why don't you wait for me to finish? But thinking about it, didn't I just treat Security 012 like this? It seems that it's not the pot calling the kettle black. Chapter 1868. Then hurry up and say it. Lu Dian was still fine as he didn't hang up the phone. President Lu, in the windshield of that car, there are a bunch of passes. Those passes are from the headquarters. The security captain was afraid that Lu Dian would hang up the phone, so he said it all in one breath. What? A bunch of passes? From the headquarters? Lu Dian was stunned. Tell me, what's going on? It's like this, President Lu, I'm right next to the car. The security captain quickly said, the passes on the car are, Mingyang Entertainment Company Headquarters Pass, Mingyang Security Company Pass, Songjiang International Hotel Internal Parking Pass, Mingyang Escort Company Pass. Huh? So many? Lu Dian was shocked. These are the headquarters of the group in Songjiang and some of the subsidiary companies of the group headquarters. Then, the identity of the owner of this car. Thinking of this, Lu Dian suddenly broke into a cold sweat. He blamed himself for hanging up the phone just now. If this phone call was really hung up, he would probably be done for. Lu Dian was originally from Songjiang City. He was originally an ordinary executive of the Songjiang International Hotel. He was just lucky that the branch hotel was bought. He was short of senior management, so he was appointed to work in Songshan City. Therefore, he had a deep understanding of Songjiang City's Mingyang Group. A person who could enter and leave all the companies related to the group was definitely not a small figure. Maybe it was a shocking figure. And this person suddenly came to Songshan City. What was his intention? Was it a private visit, or was he dissatisfied with him and wanted to investigate him? Lu Dian recalled what he did after coming to Songshan City. There was nothing out of the ordinary. He didn't take advantage of the hotel. His salary was already quite high, so he didn't need to use the hotel to earn money. After all, the management was very standard. He also understood how his boss Bao Sanli got rich, so he didn't dare to embezzle public funds. Other than having a mistress, Lu Dian couldn't find any other crime. Thinking of this, Lu Dian's heart was slightly relieved. Thinking about it carefully, since the other party blatantly drove a car with the headquarters pass, he definitely wasn't here for a secret visit. He was probably just passing by to have a meal or stay here temporarily. Thinking of this, Lu Dian felt that his opportunity to perform had come. He quickly said to the security captain, "Wait for me, I'll be right there." "Okay, I'll wait for you in the parking lot, President Lu," the security captain said. Lu Dian hung up the phone and quickly put on his clothes. The mistress had already prepared the bathwater. After waiting for a long time, she didn't see Lu Dian come over. She was a little anxious. When she returned to the bedroom to take a look, she saw Lu Dian putting on his clothes. She was stunned. "Dian, what are you doing? Why are you wearing clothes? Didn't he say he was going to take a shower? I've already prepared the bathwater for you. There's an important matter at the hotel. I have to rush over immediately," Lu Dian said as he put on his clothes faster. "What is it? Can't you wait a while before going? Good person. I've been waiting for you for a long time." The second mistress started acting coquettishly. "Stop fooling around," Lu Dian shouted sternly. "I have a serious matter that concerns my future. Someone from the headquarters is here. I have to go." Ah. When the second mistress heard that there was an important matter, and it was related to Lu Dian's future, she didn't dare to stop him anymore. She nodded quickly and didn't say anything else. Lu Dian went out the door and quickly got in the car. He rushed to the International Hotel. In the parking lot, Lu Dian saw the security captain and quickly stopped the car beside him. "Zhao, where is the car?" "President Lu, you're here." The security captain quickly saluted Lu Dian and said, "President Lu, the car is here." "Look, oh. Is it this car?" Lu Dian got out of the car and looked at the Audi A8L that Zhao pointed at. When he saw the pass in the windshield of the car, his face suddenly changed. "It really is from the group headquarters. However, I don't know their real purpose. Yeah, I also felt that it was a serious matter, so I informed President Lu at the first moment," the security captain said quickly. "Do you know which private room the guest in the car is in?" asked Lu Dian. "I'm not sure about this, but you can ask the lobby manager," the security captain said. "After we wait for the guest to enter, we will report the guest's car model and license plate number to him so that he can respond accordingly. Then hurry up and ask," Lu Dian urged. "Yes, I will ask now." The security captain picked up the captain's phone. "Is this Foreman Wu?" "I'm Zhao from the security team." "Captain Zhao, I'm Little Wu. Please speak." Foreman Wu's voice came from the walkie-talkie. "I want to ask which private room did the passenger in the Audi A8L of Song BK9999 go to?" asked the security captain. "This." "Captain Zhao, is there a problem with their car?" Foreman Wu obviously didn't realize the situation of the matter. He thought that there was a problem with the car. "Captain Zhao, I will remind you privately that this car belongs to President Zhang's guest. If there is a problem, you can deal with it at your discretion." "President Zhang's guest?" The security captain Zhao was stunned. "You mean, Vice President Zhang?" Lu Dian's face also changed. This Zhang Dianhai's power is quite big. He has just been appointed as the vice president, and he has a relationship with the people of the group headquarters. Does he want to replace me? Thinking of this, Lu Dian's face was even more gloomy. He grabbed Zhao's walkie-talkie. "Little Wu, what's the matter? Are you saying that the people in this car are Zhang Dianhai's guests?" "President Lu?" Foreman Wu was also stunned, but he didn't dare to ask more. He quickly replied, "Yes, they followed President Zhang and went to the VIP private room upstairs." "Which private room?" asked Lu Dian. "Number 8. Foreman Wu didn't dare to hide anything. "Damn!" Lu Dian cursed in his heart. Fortunately, the security captain Zhao's eyes were sharp. Otherwise, if he missed this opportunity and let Zhang Dianhai take the lead, this guy might step on his head. "No, I can't be weaker than him." Thinking of this, Lu Dian quickly ran into the hotel. The security captain Zhao and the security guard 012 didn't dare to chase after him. They could only stand here and help Lu Dian watch the car. Because when Lu Dian got off, he didn't lock the car. Lu Dian ran into the hotel lobby and ignored Foreman Wu's greeting. He ran directly into the elevator and came to the floor of the VIP area. He got off the elevator and ran toward the number 8 private room. Chapter 1869. Dang dang dang. Lu Dian knocked on the door of the private room with a nervous mood. Please come in. Zhang Dianhai thought it was the waiter, so he didn't care and said directly. When Lu Dian heard Zhang Dianhai's voice, he couldn't help but feel angry. He thought, this Zhang Dianhai is really something. He got involved with the people from the group headquarters so quickly. However, he quietly opened the door and pretended that he didn't know Zhang Dianhai was there. He walked into the private room and said loudly, I am the manager of this restaurant, Lu Dian. I represent the Songjiang International Hotel to propose a toast to all the distinguished guests. Huh? When Zhang Dianhai saw Lu Dian come in, he was suddenly stunned. He didn't know what Lu Dian wanted to do. He looked at Lu Dian inexplicably. President Lu, what are you doing? This is my family coming to eat. How can there be any distinguished guests? Lu Dian was also stunned. Why is this Zhang Dianhai saying that this is a family banquet? Could it be that he has a relative who is a senior member of the group headquarters? Thinking of this possibility, Lu Dian's heart suddenly skipped a beat. Family banquet? Yeah, this is my daughter, Zhang Hualan. Zhang Dianhai introduced to Lu Dian. This is my daughter, Xiao Lan's classmate, Xiao Lan's suitor. I just happened to come and talk to this kid to see if he is qualified to be my son-in-law. Lu Dian was even more inexplicable. Did I make a mistake? There are no people from the group headquarters here at all? Listening to Zhang Dianhai's tone, it didn't seem like there were people from the group headquarters at all. If there were people from the group headquarters, then could he still talk in this tone? The other few are friends brought by this suitor. Zhang Dianhai introduced, President Lu, what can I do for you? Zhang Dianhai was also somewhat inexplicable about Lu Dian suddenly coming in to propose a toast. He didn't know what Zhang Dianhai's real purpose was. Lu Dian turned his head and glanced at the so-called friend of Zhang Dianhai's daughter's suitor. At first glance, he was shocked. Wang Lin. Sitting next to the banquet was the former security captain of the Songjiang International Hotel in Songjiang City, Wang Lin. Of course, Lu Dian knew Wang Lin. He was also the management of the Song International Hotel in Songjiang City, and he had met Wang Lin before. This Wang Lin was chosen because he was chosen by the highest person in charge of the group. He became his chauffeur and became successful. Now he had become a big figure in the group. Although he was just a chauffeur, this kind was someone who was a person who was close to the emperor. Wang Lin. Wang's. Wang Lin's was Dian was a good opportunity, if that was Dian's STT him was. T. Was. His Test. Huh. Zhang Dian's eyes widened. He looked at Lu Dian in confusion. Why did he call Guan Xiaoxiang's friend brother? Did he make a mistake? Little Wang recognized Lu Dian. But Yang Ming didn't say anything, so he didn't greet Lu Dian. Now that Lu Dian recognized him, little Wang said lightly, I'm just a chauffeur. Wherever Brother Yang goes, I'll be there. Brother Yang? Huh. Lu Dian almost fell to the ground when he heard little Wang's words. Brother Yang? Isn't that the person behind the group? It is said that the chairman, Jing Xiaolu, is his lover. Brother Yang is here? Lu Dian looked at the other young man beside little Wang who was eating at the table. Could this person be Brother Yang? Thinking of this, Lu Dian felt that it was very possible. Everyone was looking at him, but this young man could eat calmly. He must be a big shot. Hello, Brother Yang. Lu Dian carefully stood beside Yang Ming and said respectfully, I'm the manager here, Lu Dian. I'm at your service. Oh, the food here is good. It's delicious, Yang Ming said lightly. Thank you for the compliment, Brother Yang. Lu Dian was overjoyed. It seemed that Yang Ming didn't have any bad feelings for him, and even praised him. This made Lu Dian very happy. Seeing Lu Dian's flattering attitude, Zhang Dian was a little confused. He didn't know what Lu Dian was doing. What, Brother Wang and Brother Yang? What the hell is going on? Did Lu Dian know these two people? Mr. Lu, you. Zhang Dian didn't know what was going on. Of course, the most excited person was Guan Xiaoxiang. He clenched his fist, and his breathing became rapid. He looked at Yang Ming and Lu Dian excitedly. This Lu Dian was so respectful to Yang Ming. Also, listening to his tone, it seemed like he was reporting to Yang Ming. Could this hotel be? Thinking of a possibility, Guan Xiaoxiang suddenly opened his eyes wide. He couldn't believe his guess. But the truth should be as he guessed. This hotel was Yang Ming's. This hotel was originally a chain from Songjiang, and Yang Ming was also from Songjiang. Plus, Lu Dian, the hotel manager, was so respectful to Yang Ming's driver. One could imagine the reason behind this. Zhang Dian, what's wrong with you? Is this how you treat the higher-ups of the group? Lu Dian looked at Zhang Dian seriously. Aren't you tarnishing the hotel's reputation? Higher UPS of the group? What do you mean? Zhang Dian was a little confused. This is Brother Yang. Lu Dian really didn't know how to introduce Yang Ming at this moment because Yang Ming didn't have any shares in the Ming Yang group now, and he didn't hold any positions. However, Lu Dian had a countermeasure. Brother Yang is the investor of the Ming Yang group. President Jing is Brother Yang's girlfriend. Huh? Zhang Dian opened his mouth in disbelief like a big toad. He naturally knew who Jing Xiaolu was, but she was someone he couldn't reach. At this time, when he heard that the young man in front of him was the investor of the group and also Jing Xiaolu's boyfriend, he was a little stunned. How is this possible? Isn't he Guan Xiaoxiang's friend? Isn't he here to freeload? How did he become the investor of the group? What kind of awesome identity is this? How can he be with Guan Xiaoxiang? Chapter 1870. But Zhang Dianhai didn't suspect that Lu Dian was lying. Because Lu Dian came from Songjiang, he knew a lot more than Zhang Dianhai, and since Lu Dian said so, he couldn't be lying. Suddenly, Zhang Dianhai's face turned red and white. He was embarrassed beyond words. Before this, he kept mocking Yang Ming, saying that he was a country bumpkin who hadn't seen the world. But in a flash, he became his boss. It should be his boss's 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 boss. Yang. Brother Yang. Although Zhang Dianhai felt that calling a young man about the same age as his daughter, brother, was a bit awkward, he had to do it now. This job was not easy to come by. Although it was the headhunting company that had poached him, in fact, it was a facade that Zhang Dianhai had colluded with the headhunting company. He had only taken a fancy to the high technology here and wanted to work here. So, he didn't want to lose this job, so the only way was to lower his head to Yang Ming. Yang Ming originally planned to transfer 100 million to Guan Xiaoxiang after the meal to shock Zhang Dianhai and give Guan Xiaoxiang some face. But he didn't expect Lu Dian to suddenly come and interfere. But Yang Ming didn't mind too much. After all, with Lu Dian here, Yang Ming didn't have to do those troublesome things. Uncle Zhang, my current identity is just Guan Xiaoxiang's friend. Yang Ming looked at Zhang Dianhai and said lightly. Zhang Dianhai hated himself. He really looked down on people. But he didn't realize that there was a god sitting here. No wonder Guan Xiaoxiang dared to come, and no wonder Yang Ming dared to say that Guan Xiaoxiang could get 100 million investment. 100 million, with Yang Ming's identity, wasn't it just a matter of a sentence? He actually doubted and mocked Guan Xiaoxiang for not being able to get it. He was asking for humiliation. Of course, asking for humiliation was a small matter. As long as Yang Ming didn't hate him, he was already good enough. But now, what did Yang Ming mean? Did he hate her, or did he not take this matter to heart? Brother Yang. I'm sorry, I didn't know you and little Guan were friends. Otherwise, I wouldn't have tried to break them up. I don't even have time to climb up the social ladder, why would I break them up? Zhang Dianhai didn't care what Yang Ming meant, and decided to reflect on himself first. No matter what Yang Ming meant, self-reflection was never wrong. Zhang Hualan's eyes widened. He stared in disbelief at his father, who had always been high and mighty, lowering his head to Guan Xiaoxiang's friend. What was going on? Zhang Hualan didn't know Yang Ming's identity. She really didn't understand her father's actions. However, she knew that from now on, her father would no longer object to her relationship with Guan Xiaoxiang. Because her father was right, it was too late to climb up the social ladder. Could it be that Guan Xiaoxiang's friend had some sort of super identity? It's nothing. As Zhang Hualan's father, you naturally want your daughter to find a good home. Yang Ming said calmly. But your way of doing things is a bit extreme. No one is born to be successful. Life is full of opportunities. Who knows when you'll succeed? Brother Yang is right, I'll remember that. Zhang Dianhai said quickly. 100 million, to be honest, is a bit too little. Yang Ming shrugged. I'm going to personally guide Guan Xiaoxiang. I think his future achievements won't be limited to this 100 million. Your request is still too little. Zhang Dianhai's face turned red and white. He was very embarrassed and thought to himself, if I knew Guan Xiaoxiang was going to work for you, even if my daughter didn't agree, I would have forced her to marry him. I wouldn't have had to put on this show. Brother Yang is right, I'll remember that. Zhang Dianhai could only admit his mistake. At this time, even Lu Dian was a bit dumbfounded. He finally understood that Yang Ming was here to stand up for Guan Xiaoxiang, and this Guan Xiaoxiang was the future son-in-law that Zhang Dianhai wanted to make things difficult for. Thinking of this, Lu Dian couldn't help but find it a bit funny. This Zhang Dianhai was smart all his life, but this time he was stupid. Brother Yang was going to stand up for himself, how could he be a person with a small achievement? Lu Dian, right? You sit down and eat with us. Yang Ming waved at Lu Dian. You can tell me about the hotel. Okay. Lu Dian quickly sat down next to little Wang. Zhang Dianhai, who was originally sitting at the head of the table, didn't dare to sit now. He quickly walked over and sat next to Lu Dian. Lu Dian and Zhang Dianhai told Yang Ming about the hotel situation. Yang Ming just casually understood. He nodded and stood up. Okay, the development here is good. I'm very satisfied. Little Wang, go back and tell Xiaolu about them. Okay, Brother Yang. Little Wang nodded and took out his phone to record. Thank you, Brother Yang. Lu Dian and Zhang Dianhai were suddenly happy and quickly thanked him. Vice President Zhang, Xiao Xiang and Xiao Lan will go with me later. Is there a problem? Yang Ming called Zhang Dianhai's position this time, so there was a hint of a commanding tone in his words. If Zhang Dianhai didn't agree, then he didn't know how to appreciate favors. Of course, Zhang Dianhai couldn't wait for Xiao Lan and Xiao Xiang to go with Yang Ming. This was simply endless benefits for him. In the future, with his daughter and Xiao Xiang's relationship, his family would be able to soar. Waving his hand, he signaled Lu Dian and Zhang Dianhai not to send him off. Yang Ming only left the hotel with little Wang, Guan Xiaoxiang, and Zhang Hualan and went to the parking lot. Xiao Lan, look, I told you that Brother Yang would be no problem. See now? Uncle Zhang finally approved of us being together. Guan Xiaoxiang said excitedly. Brother Yang, thank you. Zhang Hualan wasn't as excited as Guan Xiaoxiang. Instead, she first came to thank Yang Ming. It's nothing. This is what I promised Xiao Xiang. Yang Ming smiled. Let's go. Let's find a quiet place and talk about your future development. Brother Yang, you are too kind. I, Guan Xiaoxiang, will follow you for the rest of my life. Guan Xiaoxiang was a little excited. You can't abandon me, right? I won't. Yang Ming smiled. Boss, when Xiaolan and I have a child in the future, how about we let him acknowledge you as his godfather? Guan Xiaoxiang said eagerly. Then arrange a marriage for our child? Yang Ming was a little speechless. Aren't you thinking a little too far? Chapter 1871. It's not that far away. Xiaolan and I will get married after we graduate next year, and we'll have kids next year. Then we can get married before we're even born. Guan Xiaoxiang was too excited today. He had never felt so proud before, so his words were a little jumpy. Then you won't be able to make it in time. I still have to wait a few years. Yang Ming was a little speechless. You're thinking too far ahead, hee. Then boss, do you have any nephews that are that old? You can introduce them to my future baby. Guan Xiaoxiang was too agitated today, so all he could say was a bunch of nonsense. Not at the moment. If I do, I'll introduce them to you. Yang Ming said helplessly. That's great. Then boss, we'll be in-laws from now on. You'll have to help me. Guan Xiaoxiang was not stupid. Although he was a little inflexible, he knew that as long as he followed Yang Ming's footsteps, he would definitely achieve something in the future. Zhang Hualan, on the other hand, blushed. She was still an unmarried girl, and Guan Xiaoxiang had already planned for a child. This made her very embarrassed. She glared at Guan Xiaoxiang and pouted. What are you saying? Who's in such a hurry to have a child? Of course it's you. Your dad already agreed. What's there to be afraid of? Guan Xiaoxiang said matter-of-factly. Then I won't have one. I haven't even started my career yet. If I have a child, it'll be a waste of time. Zhang Hualan shook her head. Can't you be a little more serious? How am I not serious? Don't you have boss to help you with your career? Don't you believe in boss's ability? Guan Xiaoxiang trusted Yang Ming a lot. When Yang Ming said that he could succeed, Guan Xiaoxiang was inexplicably filled with confidence. But you can't just rely on Brother Yang for everything. Zhang Hualan glared at Guan Xiaoxiang. Why was this person like this? He was helping you, but you didn't care about anything yourself? Plus, even if he helped you, he couldn't help you everywhere. You had to work hard. No, I'm just confident. Guan Xiaoxiang scratched his head, embarrassed. Okay, Xiaolan, since I've decided to help Xiaoxiang, then he won't have any problems in the future. Yang Ming smiled. You can marry him and bear a child. Zhang Hualan listened to Yang Ming and was a little embarrassed. She nodded shyly, but she was very grateful to Yang Ming in her heart. She didn't know why Yang Ming was helping Guan Xiaoxiang. She had only seen Yang Ming once at Guan Xuemin's house. She didn't even know what Yang Ming did. Today was the second time Zhang Hualan had seen Yang Ming, and she hadn't heard Guan Xiaoxiang mention anything about Yang Ming. Why was Yang Ming suddenly supporting Guan Xiaoxiang today? Judging from Guan Xiaoxiang's embarrassment and nervousness when he was scolded by his father, Guan Xiaoxiang definitely didn't know about Yang Ming's background. He wasn't sure if Yang Ming would be able to help him. In that case, this matter was rather strange. Zhang Hualan couldn't help but ask, Brother Yang, why are you helping Xiaoxiang? Didn't he say? We're in-laws. Yang Ming smiled. What? What kind of reason is that? Zhang Hualan was stunned. Yang Ming shrugged. Maybe it's fate. Of course, Yang Ming couldn't tell her the real reason. He didn't want to. Back then, he had only given Guan Xiaoxiang a little something in return because Guan Xueming had spared no effort in helping Shen Yushi. If Yang Ming had given Guan Xueming a sum of money, Guan Xueming definitely wouldn't have accepted it. With Guan Xueming's personality, he wouldn't have accepted the money. If he had accepted it, Guan Xiaoxiang wouldn't have been unable to fork out 5 million. Therefore, Yang Ming repaid Guan Xuemin in other ways. Of course, even if Guan Xuemin knew about it, he would not interfere. After all, this was Yang Ming's idea. He couldn't stop him. That was one of the reasons. Secondly, Yang Ming also wanted to help the people around him before he went to Yunnan. At least, Yang Ming had found a way out for Bao Sanli and the others. As for these new acquaintances, he naturally wanted to help if he could. Thirdly, Yang Ming felt that Guan Xiaoxiang was more to his liking. Seeing Guan Xiaoxiang in a difficult situation, Yang Ming even thought of himself in the past. When he was with Suya, what was the difference between the face of Suya's father, Su Haikua, and the current Zhang Dianhai? So this was why Yang Ming wanted to help Guan Xiaoxiang. So it's like this. Zhang Hualan knew that Yang Ming might not be telling the truth, but if Yang Ming didn't say it, she couldn't keep asking. She could only give up. Boss said we hit it off. It seems that this in-law is really a couple. Guan Xiaoxiang was also very excited. Yang Ming was someone that even his father admired. Moreover, his father knew Yang Ming's godfather, so Guan Xiaoxiang naturally didn't think that Yang Ming would lie to him. Boss, you can't refuse to recognize me as your in-law in the future. Of course not. But when I have a child, that will be a long time. Yang Ming saw that Guan Xiaoxiang was so enthusiastic and suddenly had a plan. Yang Ming suddenly thought of the marriage that Fang Tian had arranged for him. Yang Ming was still brooding about it at that time. He didn't expect that he would have such an opportunity. If he arranged a marriage for his future disciple in advance, would he be as resistant as me at that time? Thinking of this, Yang Ming suddenly felt a little funny. Was Fang Tian like this in the past? It seems like it. He and Wang Ruoshui were arranged. So he was unhappy and arranged for him. Naturally, he also had to arrange for his disciple. It would be a waste not to exercise this right. Yang Ming even thought of the wonderful expression of his future disciple. Yang Ming realized that he was a little bit evil now. He actually thought of scheming for something so far away. Then what should I do? Guan Xiaoxiang asked bitterly. But I want to accept a disciple in the near future. It's possible to be in-laws with you. Yang Ming was referring to the fact that after returning from Yunnan, he would probably retire from the world of martial arts. However, the title of the King of Assassins would continue to be passed down, so Yang Ming had to think about accepting a disciple. Since Guan Xiaoxiang was so enthusiastic, it was not impossible for him to decide his disciple's marriage on his own. Although Yang Ming didn't know where his disciple was, wasn't his marriage arranged by Fang Tian before he met him? So Yang Ming played a dirty trick. Chapter 1872. Disciple? Sure, disciple works too. Guan Xiaoxiang knew that Yang Ming wasn't going to have a child for the time being, so having a disciple like Yang Ming wasn't a bad idea. But he still asked curiously, Boss, what do you want a disciple to learn from you? Everything. I'll teach him whatever I know, like martial arts. Yang Ming wouldn't tell Guan Xiaoxiang about the assassin business. The time wasn't right yet. Although Yang Ming found Guan Xiaoxiang to be quite agreeable, something as important as this wasn't something that Yang Ming would tell him until the very last moment. Martial arts? Boss, you know martial arts? Guan Xiaoxiang asked in surprise. A little. Yang Ming smiled, then pointed to a small advertisement on a telephone pole not far away and said, Look at that telephone pole. As Yang Ming spoke, he picked up a small pebble from the ground and threw it over. With a pa sound, the small stone hit the telephone pole and then bounced to the side. Guan Xiaoxiang's eyes widened. Although he couldn't see if Yang Ming had hit the advertisement, it was already amazing that the pebble could hit the telephone pole from such a distance, let alone hit the advertisement. Boss, is this real? Guan Xiaoxiang quickly ran over and glanced at the small advertisement on the pole. He was so shocked that he couldn't speak. He pointed at the small advertisement with his mouth wide open. Xiaoxiang, what's wrong? Zhang Lan couldn't stand it anymore. What's with Guan Xiaoxiang's expression? He looks like he's scared. Xiaolan, look at this. Guan Xiaoxiang pointed at the small advertisement on the telephone pole. Zhang Hualan walked over and saw the advertisement on the telephone pole. Suddenly, her small face turned red. What nonsense are you looking at? Huh? Guan Xiaoxiang paused before realizing what Zhang Hualan meant. The advertisement was a cure for STD, infertility advertisement. Guan Xiaoxiang hadn't noticed it before, but after Zhang Hualan's reminder, he realized the problem. Embarrassed, he said, Zhang Hualan, I'm not talking about the advertisement. I'm talking about the marks on the advertisement. Look here. Guan Xiaoxiang pointed at the middle of the ad for Zhang Hualan to see. Ah! When Zhang Hualan saw it, she suddenly exclaimed because in the middle of the small advertisement, there was a round mark. It was made by a stone. It was right in the middle, not a single bit off. So accurate? Zhang Hualan asked in surprise. Yeah, now you know why I was so surprised, right? Guan Xiaoxiang said. I didn't expect the boss to have such a trick up his sleeve. Zhang Hualan nodded because she was equally surprised. Previously, she felt that it was strange for her child to marry Yang Ming's disciple, but now it seemed that Yang Ming's disciple was definitely not an ordinary person. How could an ordinary person enter Yang Ming's eyes? Okay, don't be surprised. It's just a small trick. Yang Ming smiled faintly. If this was considered a small trick, then Guan Xiaoxiang really didn't know what a big trick was. Boss, are you one of those legendary martial arts masters? You can think of it that way. Yang Ming said. I've already told your father about my identity. If you want to know, you can ask him. Oh. Guan Xiaoxiang was stunned. Boss, what is your identity? Tell me. You know my dad. He's very old-fashioned. If I ask him, I probably won't get anything out of him. Okay, then I'll tell you. Yang Ming nodded. Anyway, he was going to leave after a while. When Guan Xiaoxiang couldn't find him, he would definitely ask Bao Sanli or Guan Xuemin. At that time, he would know. Boss, you really have a special identity? Guan Xiaoxiang was shocked. My identity is actually a special agent. Yang Ming said. But don't tell anyone. Ah. Special agent? Guan Xiaoxiang's eyes widened. Boss, you're a special agent? Yeah, I'm going to do a mission in a while, so you won't be able to see me for a long time. Yang Ming said. That's why I'm telling you. But don't tell anyone. Don't worry, I won't say anything. I definitely won't. Guan Xiaoxiang shook his head. I'm not someone who spouts nonsense. Although Guan Xiaoxiang was shocked, he didn't doubt Yang Ming's words. If Yang Ming hadn't shown such a skill, perhaps Guan Xiaoxiang would have some doubts. But now, Guan Xiaoxiang was only shocked. Yang Ming could hit a small stone so accurately. It was only natural that he was a special agent. Let's find a place to talk about your business plan. Yang Ming smiled. I'm going to invest 100 million in you, but you can tell me what you want to do. I won't interfere. Of course I'll tell you. Guan Xiaoxiang nodded and went with Yang Ming to a roadside cafe. He was going to tell Yang Ming the details of his plan. In fact, he already had the idea of opening a hospital in his mind. At the time, he just wanted to use Guan Xueming's name to make a name for himself in the early stages. He didn't have the money in the early stages, and couldn't even afford to advertise. He could only rely on Guan Xueming's name to sustain himself. But now, with Yang Ming's investment, he didn't need to rely on Guan Xueming's name anymore. He could use this money to open a super large private hospital. Whether it was the size of the building or the medical facilities, it was more than enough. He could even hire some retired specialists. It wouldn't take long for the hospital's name to spread. Therefore, after Guan Xiaoxiang sat down, he began to talk. Brother Yang, my initial idea is to buy an office building. It can be an abandoned school or research center, and then renovate it. After that, we can hire some retired specialists from big hospitals. In the early stages, we can specialize in a few subjects. After that, we can buy all the medical equipment for those subjects. 100 million is not a lot, but it's not a lot. It's definitely not enough to buy all the medical equipment. So, we just need to specialize in a few subjects. Yang Ming nodded. Although he didn't know much about hospital management, there weren't many problems with Guan Xiaoxiang's plan. Your idea is not bad. It's very feasible. Really? It's really not bad. Is it feasible? Guan Xiaoxiang was very excited to be praised by Yang Ming. Boss, you still believe in me? My dad said I'm just an armchair strategist. He doesn't believe me at all. He said I only know how to dream, and it's not realistic at all. Chapter 1873. Don't blame Uncle Guan. He's just worried that if you use his name, not only will it hurt you, but it'll also hurt him. Yang Ming smiled and waved his hand. It's because you don't have money, and Uncle Guan doesn't have that much either. There's no way he can let you run a hospital, so the most you can do is open a small clinic. That's why Uncle Guan didn't want you to use his name. Think about it, a small clinic with Uncle Guan's name. Wouldn't it be weird? Boss, you have a point. Guan Xiaoxiang nodded. But he's my dad. Can't he trust his own son? Even though Guan Xiaoxiang had gotten Yang Ming's help, he still held a grudge against Guan Xuemin's actions. It's not Uncle Guan's fault. That big brother of yours. Yang Ming had heard from Guan Xuemin that Guan Xiaoxiang's big brother, Guan Dian, was a scammer who used Guan Xuemin's name to do a lot of bad things. That was why Guan Xuemin was so concerned about Guan Xiaoxiang using his name. That big brother of mine was really lucky. He used my dad's name to make a lot of money, but my dad kicked him out of the house. He doesn't even come home anymore. Guan Xiaoxiang said. You're jealous of someone like that? Yang Ming was a bit speechless. He was kicked out of the house. Do you want that too? That's not it. I'm not using my dad's name to scam people. I just want to get a bit of fame. I won't scam people. Guan Xiaoxiang shook his head. You don't have Uncle Guan in your clinic, but you're using Uncle Guan's name to open a clinic. If that's not scamming people, then what is? Yang Ming shook his head and glared at Guan Xiaoxiang. You don't have the money in the beginning. You can't even hire a specialist, so you can only hire normal, inexperienced doctors. If something goes wrong, not only will it hurt you, it will hurt the patients who trust your dad's name, and it will also hurt your dad. Have you ever thought of such a serious consequence? I really haven't thought about it. Guan Xiaoxiang was taken aback. But I don't plan to treat those difficult illnesses in the beginning. I only plan to treat some minor ailments like colds and headaches. Some illnesses that look like a cold could be pneumonia. If you misdiagnose them, it'll be even more troublesome. Yang Ming didn't know much about medicine, but he still had some common sense. Guan Xiaoxiang lowered his head. I'm sorry, boss. I was too impulsive. Alright, now that you've taken the investment I've given you, you can be considered to have the capital. If you hire some experienced experts, these problems won't occur. Yang Ming said, I'm just reminding you. Even if you have money, don't rush for instant success. You have to take it one step at a time. Don't make the same mistake as your brother. Boss, Guan Xiaoxiang, will remember your words today. Guan Xiaoxiang patted his chest. I know you're doing this for my own good. Don't worry, I won't do anything out of line in this lifetime. Actually Uncle Guan and I have the same idea. It's just that he can't give you the money, so he's a little more strict. Yang Ming smiled. I hope you won't hold a grudge against him. Boss, don't worry about that. Guan Xiaoxiang was a little embarrassed. Of course I'll be upset, but I won't hold a grudge. After all, he's my father. It's normal for him to care about his reputation. As for whether or not Guan Xiaoxiang was upset, or if he would throw a tantrum, that wasn't something Yang Ming could control. As long as Guan Xiaoxiang didn't hold a grudge against his father, then Yang Ming's goal had been achieved. I'm happy that you can think this through. Yang Ming nodded. Do well, and you'll definitely succeed. Come back to Songjiang with me later. I'll introduce you to some famous people in society. They'll be of great help to your future career. Thank you, boss. Guan Xiaoxiang, of course, knew how important connections were in doing business. If all the people he knew in a city were famous people, then they would subconsciously become his assistants. So when Yang Ming said that, Guan Xiaoxiang was very excited. What are you thanking me for? You're calling me boss. How can I not help you? Yang Ming waved his hand. Right, boss, you're investing in me. How are we going to split the shares of the hospital I'm setting up? Guan Xiaoxiang had been thinking about this question before. He was too embarrassed to bring it up, but he didn't. This was a very important question, and he had to figure it out first. Split the shares? The money is for you. I don't want the shares. You can manage it yourself. Yang Ming waved his hand and smiled. Yang Ming was going to Yunnan, and he wasn't even sure if he could come back. What was the use of the shares? What's more, 100 million yuan was like a drop in the ocean for the current Yang Ming. It was nothing at all, so Yang Ming didn't think about asking for any shares. Yang Ming wasn't short of money at all. How can that be? You're an investor. Of course you have to have the shares. Otherwise, how can I take the money with peace of mind? Guan Xiaoxiang heard Yang Ming's words and immediately panicked. I said it's for you, so it's for you, Yang Ming said. No, boss. If you don't want the shares, then I definitely can't take the money. If I take it, then I'll be freeloading. Guan Xiaoxiang shook his head like a rattle drum and refused directly. You are similar to Uncle Guan. You are more principled. Yang Ming smiled. Since you must give it to your future son-in-law, then give it to him. Yang Ming smiled. Since you must give it to him, then give it to your future son-in-law. My future son-in-law? Guan Xiaoxiang was stunned. My disciple, Yang Ming smiled. My disciple must be a man, so you're looking forward to having a daughter. So it's like that. Guan Xiaoxiang felt that the shares were the same as giving him the same thing. My son-in-law is also my daughter's. What's the difference between not giving it to Yang Ming? Just treat it as a dowry from me as her godfather, Yang Ming smiled. If you still don't agree, then I can't do anything. Okay. Guan Xiaoxiang nodded. Then let's sign a contract. Why do we need to sign a contract? I believe in you. Yang Ming said with a smile, when that day comes, you can just give it to him. This. Okay. Guan Xiaoxiang nodded. 60%. 60% of the company's shares belongs to your disciple. I'll take it out and won't use it no matter what. Chapter 1874. Hee, do as you wish. Yang Ming also knew that no matter what he said, Guan Xiaoxiang wouldn't accept it, so it was better to let him do as he wished. Anyway, he was just a disciple that didn't exist. He didn't know when that disciple would appear. Guan Xiaoxiang might not be able to give out the 60% of shares. Okay, I will make a contract when I go back. I will definitely not touch these shares. If I touch them, I am not worthy of being a human. Guan Xiaoxiang swore, let Xiaolan supervise me. Hee, you don't have to make it so serious. Yang Ming smiled. I will supervise him. Zhang Hualan also valued this. Yang Ming could be said to be the matchmaker of the two of them. Without him, how could her father agree to the two of them being together? Now that Yang Ming had given them such a great help, Zhang Hualan was very grateful. At the same time, she swore in her heart that she would repay Yang Ming one day. Therefore, she also valued the oath that Guan Xiaoxiang said and immediately expressed that she would supervise Guan Xiaoxiang. Seeing that Guan Xiaoxiang and Zhang Hualan were so formal, Yang Ming couldn't say anything. He nodded, okay, then it's settled. Later, you will go back to Songjiang with me. I will let someone transfer the money to you. As for the hospital location, you can discuss it with Bao Sanli. The hospital will be under the Ming Yang Group first. When it becomes bigger, you can go independent at any time. No need, just under the boss. Anyway, 60% of the shares will always be yours. Guan Xiaoxiang said solemnly. It was also because of Guan Xiaoxiang's oath today that in the several restructuring of the hospital, no matter how many times the shareholders changed and how many branches were established, the 60% shares were always untouched. Everyone else thought that Guan Xiaoxiang was afraid of losing control of the hospital, so he purposely kept the 60% shares as an excuse. But only Guan Xiaoxiang and Zhang Hualan knew that the shares didn't actually belong to them, but were kept for someone else. However, these words could not be said to others. Even their future daughter did not know the truth of the matter. Many years later, Guan Xiaoxiang had been looking forward to his boss, Yang Ming, returning to Songjiang. He wanted to sit with him and his wife, Xiaolan, in this cafe and reminisce about the past. However, after Yang Ming retired from the underworld, there was no news of him again. Disappointed, Guan Xiaoxiang placed his hopes on Yang Ming's disciple. But where would he find Yang Ming's disciple in this sea of people? He didn't even know his name. He couldn't just randomly grab someone and ask if they were Yang Ming's disciple, right? The successful and famous Guan Xiaoxiang would sometimes reminisce about the days many years ago. That summer, when Yang Ming first came to visit and met him and Xiaolan for the first time, as well as sister-in-law Yushi, who was once his father's goddaughter, also, at the Songjiang International Hotel, Yang Ming's appearance reversed the awkward situation between Guan Xiaoxiang and Zhang Hualan, and made Zhang Dianhai agree to their matter. Although Zhang Dianhai also borrowed a lot of credit, Guan Xiaoxiang was very regretful that he didn't see Yang Ming again after that. Although the feeling of holding on to shares but not being able to give them away was strange, Guan Xiaoxiang truly felt that way. Until his daughter grew up day by day, and after graduation, she went to the hospital he invested in to become a nurse. Yang Ming didn't appear, and neither did Yang Ming's disciple. Guan Xiaoxiang sometimes even wondered if Yang Ming was just joking and lying to him. However, he comforted himself that Yang Ming wouldn't lie to him. So he firmly believed that one day, he would definitely be able to meet Yang Ming again and become real relatives with him. In the afternoon, little Wang drove Yang Ming, Guan Xiaoxiang, and Zhang Hualan back to Songjiang City, and then introduced them to Bao Sanli. After Bao Sanli listened to Yang Ming's intention, he nodded and prepared to start researching the hospital for Guan Xiaoxiang. Yang Ming went to Jing Xiaolu's office. In addition to not seeing Jing Xiaolu for a long time and missing her, he also wanted to talk to her about the Lu family in Jiangyan City. The news of Yang Ming coming to the group headquarters was not known to many people. Besides Bao Sanli, it was probably little Wang. However, Bao Sanli wouldn't take the initiative to say it, and little Wang wouldn't simply say it. Yang Ming knocked on the door of Jing Xiaolu's office with a bouquet of flowers. After a while, Jing Xiaolu's capable voice came from inside, "Please come in." Yang Ming pushed open the door of the office and deliberately covered his face with flowers. Then he said in a fake voice, "Miss Jing, hello. I have admired you for a long time." Jing Xiaolu thought it was a colleague of the company, but after listening to a few words, she found that something was wrong. She looked up and saw a man standing in front of her with flowers in his hand. She was suddenly shocked and pulled a long face. "Who are you? How did you come in?" "Miss Jing, I am your admirer." Yang Ming said very affectionately, "I am the heir of XX Group. Miss Jing, please give me a chance." "Are you crazy?" Although Jing Xiaolu had been a lot more civilized under Yang Ming's urging, and she also had the demeanor of a company's chairman, Jing Xiaolu was still a little angry in the face of such an inexplicable suitor. What does this person mean by coming to my office to give flowers? The Mingyang Security Company was very famous, but they let a mentally ill person into the group headquarters. How could Jing Xiaolu not be angry? Miss Jing, I love you. Please accept my pursuit. As Yang Ming said, he reached out and hugged Jing Xiaolu. Fuck. You want to take advantage of me? I will kick you to death. Jing Xiaolu was furious. Except for Yang Ming, who dared to touch her like this. Jing Xiaolu saw that the man in front of her actually dared to hug her, and she suddenly recovered her previous delinquent temper. She kicked Yang Ming's lower body. Yang Ming was shocked. Fortunately, his reflexes were faster. He caught Jing Xiaolu's foot and smiled. Miss Jing's jade foot is very beautiful, you dead pervert, why don't you die? Jing Xiaolu was very angry. This person actually dared to touch my foot. He really didn't want to live. Jing Xiaolu had already thought about it. Whether this person was the heir of XX Group or not, he dared to flirt with her, then he was dead. She would definitely find someone to cripple him and throw him into the sea to feed the sharks. As Jing Xiaolu spoke, she picked up the teacup on the table and smashed it on Yang Ming's head. One of her feet was caught by Yang Ming, so she couldn't use the seductive kick. She could only change it to using the teacup to smash people. Yang Ming didn't expect Jing Xiaolu's reaction to be so intense, and she didn't recognize him until now. Yang Ming was scared and quickly let go. He smiled bitterly, Xiaolu, it's me. Chapter 1875. Yang Ming? Jing Xiaolu was stunned suddenly, and the teacup fell to the ground. Her hand that was going to hit Yang Ming also changed to a different position and pounced on Yang Ming. What are you doing? You scared me. I thought a perverted pervert came in. Didn't I want to give you a surprise? Who knew your reaction would be so intense? Yang Ming looked at Jing Xiaolu with a bitter smile. You kicked and hit me. Fortunately, I have good skills. If it were someone else, they would have been lying on the ground. Yeah, then you should rest assured. No pervert can bully me. Jing Xiaolu said proudly when she heard Yang Ming's words. Whoever dares to trouble me, I will use these tricks to beat them until they lie on the ground and can't get up. Humph. This. Yang Ming smiled bitterly again. Jing Xiaolu's words were not unreasonable, but Yang Ming was still shocked. Now, even if you go to Yunnan to perform a mission, you should rest assured about me. Jing Xiaolu still said, think about how powerful I was just now. I have been practicing women's anti-pervert skills recently just to let you go without worry. Yang Ming was a little speechless. In this company, do you think other people can come in so casually except for me? Won't the security guard stop them? Hee hee. Jing Xiaolu was a little embarrassed after listening to Yang Ming's words. What if he sneaks in secretly? Anyway, it is always good for me to be on guard. Well, I didn't say that you shouldn't be on guard. So, I should study and equip you with a female bodyguard. Jing Xiaolu's reaction reminded Yang Ming that Chen Mengyan and the others already had Victoria's protection, but Jing Xiaolu, Sun Jia, Xiao Qing, and the others still had no one to protect them. Zhao Ying could be with Wang Xiaoyan, so he didn't have to worry about her safety. The others really should find another bodyguard. You are willing to think about me? Jing Xiaolu was a little surprised. She originally thought that only Chen Mengyan could find a bodyguard. What are you talking about? You are also someone I care about. Why can't I think about you? Yang Ming said deliberately with a straight face. Really? Then I'm so happy. Jing Xiaolu was a little excited. Yang Ming, don't leave tonight. Can you accompany me in the company? You haven't been with me much. I miss you a little. Speaking of this, Jing Xiaolu, to be honest, she was a straightforward person. She was actually shy. It seemed that shyness was a girl's instinct. It had. Yang Ming's heart moved and nodded. Okay, then I will accompany you, really? Jing Xiaolu couldn't believe it. She just asked with a tentative attitude. She wasn't sure whether Yang Ming could stay or not. However, even though she wasn't sure, she still had to try, right? What Jing Xiaolu didn't expect was that Yang Ming really agreed. For a while, Jing Xiaolu was a little overjoyed. She didn't know what to do. Jing Xiaolu originally thought that she was just Yang Ming's least valued girlfriend. She was satisfied to be able to talk to him. She never thought about asking him for anything. However, Yang Ming agreed to her first request. Of course, it's true. Seeing that Jing Xiaolu was so excited, Yang Ming sighed slightly. It seems that I didn't value her a little too much before. So much so that a very ordinary sentence and a very ordinary thing can make Jing Xiaolu so excited? Yang Ming, thank you. I'm very happy. I'm really happy. Jing Xiaolu's vanity was greatly satisfied. Although she was now the chairman of a company, she still had no confidence in front of Yang Ming. She knew very well that Yang Ming could give her such a big business because Yang Ming was going to Yunnan. Ming Yang Company was only entrusted to her because she happened to be here, so Yang Ming would entrust it to her. If it were someone else, Yang Ming might give the company to them. Jing Xiaolu just felt lucky. It was only today, at this moment, that Jing Xiaolu felt that Yang Ming cared about her a lot. This feeling made Jing Xiaolu so happy that she was about to die. One sentence was enough to make her wait for Yang Ming for a lifetime. Okay, let's talk about the Jiangyan Lu family first. Yang Ming didn't want Jing Xiaolu to continue to be entangled in this topic because it would only make Yang Ming feel more guilty. Yang Ming had never considered these issues before. He felt that it was normal to run around every day for a better and more comfortable life for himself and his woman in the future. But now it seemed that Yang Ming had enough money, and his ability was strong enough. He could completely retire from the underworld and live a plain life. It was true happiness to be with his beloved every day. The emergence of this idea made Yang Ming want to live in seclusion in Island X even more irresistible. After this Yunnan mission was over, Yang Ming planned to start this matter. Of course, the premise was to eliminate all potential enemies before he could leave with peace of mind. Otherwise, those who were hostile to him might jump out and threaten him again. Yang Ming didn't want to leave any hidden dangers like a time bomb that might explode at any time. Although he was not afraid of them, he was afraid that they would cause some damage on Island X or make a move on his family and friends. In that case, Yang Ming would regret it. This was also the first time that Yang Ming was determined to eliminate these enemies. Yang Ming was too soft-hearted in the past. If the enemy didn't take the initiative to come to him, Yang Ming wouldn't take the initiative to find them and do anything to them. But now it was different. Yang Ming had made up his mind. After this mission, he would look for the behind-the-scenes boss and find out the central Dr. Yang Ming. No matter how powerful and influential they were, Yang Ming must eliminate them completely. Actually, we can only know about the Lu family's news from the TV, said Jing Xiaolu. Jing Xiaolu said, Lu Huamei's secretary looked for me before. Through the phone, she tactfully expressed her request for help and conveyed Miss Lu Huamei's message. If we help her take back control of the Jiangyan group, she will definitely treat us well. Tactful? Help her regain control? Just not treat us badly? Yang Ming suddenly frowned after listening. This Lu Huamei is quite smart, huh? Do you think we're fools for making empty promises like this? There will only be benefits after regaining control. Moreover, the benefits are not stated clearly. Does she want us to work for nothing? You're tuning into the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.